Welcome to the Hexplorers. My name is Kyle Bryden, and I am the Dungeon Master to a group who call themselves the Wildcards. Now, we've been playing this homebrew game of mine for nearly 3 years in the world of Vesaria.
Friends and fiends, we are graced by our insatiable newcomers once more. 5 of you and your half-rot troll. A battle of wits and wills, pokes and prods from either side, and the constant roundabout talk of deals of Lily Soul and the fate of Valentine. You see a Goliath figure ahead of you. Half his face decaying away.
Vesaria is a realm divided. Its 4 provinces have closed off from one another. This division, spurned by past prejudices, has given room for outside forces to fester and spread unimpeded. As for our heroes, they've been brought together by fate and divine influence to become the champions needed to combat these forces, who call themselves the Revenant Vow. A cult of Asmodeus, king of the Nine. Through the vow, Asmodeus would have them unseal the gates of hell, unleashing its horrors upon the material plane before crossing the boundary himself. In doing so, he will enslave our heroes' home, obliterating the land and creating a 10th layer of hell, while growing exponentially in power himself. Our heroes have faced the Revenant Vow and the forces of hell many times, but despite their efforts, 2 of the 4 seals binding the gate shut have already been unleashed. We pick up now, late in this high-level campaign, and I'm recording it for the first time as we go digital in the midst of the coronavirus pandemic. But there's still many plots to foil and adventures to be had. So without further ado, welcome to Vesaria, and I give you the Wildcards.
Last we left off, our heroes made some new acquaintances and allies in the Battleborn clan and the mysterious Lavender. While performing admirably in the roundhouse fighting pits, you'd made an impression on the patriarch of the Battleborn clan, and he'd agreed to take a morning meeting with your group regarding your dangerous claims of regicide. Your fight ended, you regrouped, and your new friend spotted a mysterious halfling individual speaking with this dwarf woman. They parted ways, and Lavender went to follow the dwarf only to find an empty broom closet. With nothing further coming from the event, called it a night, moved to meet up again the following morning, and on your way to the Champions Guild House, you spotted this shifty halfling once more. You watched as he was awaiting someone outside a cafe, guarding a sheaf of parchment and this small crate that was covered in burlap. As you watched, an elderly female dwarf descended the steps from the Crown District, approached this halfling, who passed her these items in his possession before scurrying away past you back through the Marquis District. You rushed to follow this elderly nun figure with Hondo out front, and as you tailed her into the Crown District, she turned across this bridge towards the Red Keep itself. Hondo rushed forward before she got too close to the gates and had a brief but non-confrontational encounter where Hondo feigned confusion about being lost, but managed to touch the shoulder of this figure, confirming that she was in fact flesh and blood. This suspicion averted, you made your way to your meeting with the aforementioned Haldor Battle. Here you spoke with the patriarch and leader of the Champions Guild about the suspected plot against the Crown, the Revenant Vow, some of your past, and some of what you did next. Ultimately, it came to the agreement that both of you, and under the banner of the Champions Guild, cannot stand idly by as a threat such as this bears any credibility, and that its credibility needed to be solidified. To that end, you provided a signet ring bearing a valuable sigil, similar to the Champions Guild, but not and in these, with these, you'll be able to make your way through the districts largely unimpeded. Likewise, you can speak with some people who may have in addition, Howler wrote a letter to his elder son, Thor, who works as military accountant to Queen Dora, and he provided him with some information you granted Howler. Specifically, he was asked to investigate Sister Agatha, as a nun figure, and a mysterious package seemingly delivered into the keep. Your meeting at an end, you took a few hours to shop, restock supplies and equipment, and arm yourselves for the coming fray, whatever that may be. And as we begin, we find ourselves all together back within the warm-lit tavern of the Pearl, as you take in a late lunch and prepare for your next move within the capital city of Haverfell. I want to remind Hondo, you have a point of exhaustion from your previous evening's escapades.
Mm-hmm.
And Gord, at this point, or through the hour, let's say you guys have been having lunch, Gord has slipped away to his room upstairs. hour.
Does he have a headache or?
No, he just said, "I'll see you later," and he slipped up the stairs.
Sure he's fine. Okay, so it's just the 5 of us. It's 5. Oof. What do you guys want to do first? We could investigate the Daggers. Lav said she knew exactly where their hideout was. She was super specific. She said she knew right where to go. So we could, you could just lead us right there.
Oh, well, I could definitely leave you there. I just feel like after seeing you guys shop so much last night, I just realized I don't have a lot of money, so I would love to leave you there, Valentine, but I was just wondering if you would share some gold with me. I noticed you had very deep pockets. You know, this is a crew. We're all sharing love. Is that okay?
We do have deep pockets. Not that deep. I'm going to look around, make sure no one knows. I would be happy to offer you some items for your good service, like this Pearl of Power you could take momentarily, or this cloak that someone died in.
Ooh, a pearl? I'll take that for sure. Let's go. Okay.
Great.
We have to head south.
We got to head south?
Yes.
Okay. Are you guys ready to go now? Do you want to do anything else? Are we supposed to visit some cleric for magic stuff? Hondo, I can see the look in your eye.
I remember last time we were referred to go to this guy who can do stuff.
This is my...
guy in town.
We surely can. This is my one thing. When we go there, promise me you don't accuse the man of having shit stuff. Barter. Gonna say he's shit. Just promise me you won't insult the man, and then our prices go up or we're never allowed there again.
Okay, I will not, no insults, but I can guarantee I won't barter, because if he rips us off, I'm going to call it out.
Sure, that's fine, but just don't insult, don't be disrespectful.
That is fair.
So why don't we hit up a magic shop? You seem to like shiny things. Maybe we see something interesting, and then we could go south.
I just want my ring.
You were told it wasn't a magic shop, it was a family who had their personal collection. That they periodically would make trades and talk with new adventurers and see what new wares would come into the city. And people of your kind of wealth and status may be referred to them, but you could certainly go check them out.
So, all right. Are we at the Pearl right now?
You guys are at the Pearl now, and as you guys are kind of having this conversation, Gina makes her way over to your table. And kind of greets you all warmly, and just says, so just want to check in with you all. You've paid for the night, but I see you're still kind of holding the rooms. Would you like to continue patronizing this establishment? It seems one of your friends has just kind of slipped back upstairs. If you do, we can have a couple of nights. I don't know how long you're staying in the city for.
Yeah, what do you think, guys? How long should we stay here? Where do you sleep? Do you need a room?
I wouldn't worry about where I sleep. I have friends in low, high places.
I'm not that worried. Okay, so what do you think, Mary?
At least through the week. We know we're going to be here until that festival.
That's true. The Fire Fest, you're right.
We can always do it for then.
In today's Taurus Day?
Today is the 22nd of Zenharth.
Which, of course, I believe you said the 27th is the festival?
Something like that.
I think it's a few more days away. Wasn't it like 5 days away or 4 days away? Or
Yeah, it's like 5 days.
Alright, so let's pay for 6 days.
Okay. It's 2 gold per person, or per room. No, yeah, 2 gold per room. Mary and Allie were splitting. But you guys have 4 rooms. You have Hondo has a room, Gord has a room, Val has a room, and then Allie and Mary were splitting a room. So basically 8 gold per day, say 5 days. Math
It's 6
says
days
that.
away.
6 days?
Notes over here.
Perfect. I was trying to find my calendar over here.
Where do you have it? 6 days away.
Perfect.
The Moonweaver Festival.
Moonweaver Festival.
This weekend!
Can't wait. So
yeah,
8,
40
9,
gold.
6. Yeah, sure.
Or 6, yeah.
We can take that from party funds.
So yeah, say 48 gold for the rooms for the week, and she leaves you to your business, thanking you for your patronage.
All right, let's grab some real food here first because I wasn't entirely a fan of just pig on a stick this morning.
Yeah, so you guys have eaten lunch as part of this time that you've come home from shopping and all that fucking shit, and now you're back. Yeah.
All right, let's go, Gina. Actually, just while I give you this gold in exchange for our rooms, do you happen to know? We've heard wind of a family that trades in magical antiquities.
Yeah, we got some of your kind coming through here looking for the Oaken Stones. They reside in the Crown District as well. They're kind of they're upper class to the extreme. If you catch them on a good day, they can be good people, but they fall very much into the greed that some dwarves are known for. But they do have a prestigious collection that they are willing to part with in some cases, but more interested in acquiring.
Hondo has a great tongue for debate and bartering, don't you, Hondo?
It's always ready to flap.
I'm less and less in favor of going to see these people.
I'm sorry, did you mention where they usually hang out?
They're in the Crown District.
Okay.
So where we just kind of were, right, Kyle? Because that's a fancy one level up, and then I'm presuming that we need to go less fancy to get to these sketchy-ass people. It's the opposite direction.
You could probably put that together.
So let's make a day of it. Let's go quick. Let's go to back to the Crown District and hit up these Oaken Stones.
Yeah, you guys would have been out of the Crown District to do all your shopping stuff that would have been done on this level. So you would have spent like 5-6 hours like in this area that you're in now in the Marquis District. But as you make your way out of the Pearl and back towards the Crown District, you make your climb up the stairs once more. However, this time as you crest the top where the guards now have, one, becoming more familiar with your faces, two, anytime they kind of step forward and you flash your ring, they kind of give you a little head nod and a gesture to continue on your day unimpeded, without question, and they don't even ask for you to prove your weapons you have permits for your weapons and everything like that. So already your symbols are doing justice.
And it was
so
Haldor gave us that, right?
Yeah, the Battleborns, yeah.
Yeah.
Who wants to lead the charge looking for this place?
I'm pretty good with perception, but it might be something else. I'll give it a try.
Then I'm going to ask you to give me a persuasion check.
Oh, that's good too.
Because you're going to basically try and talk to the guards and get them to persuade them to lead you in the right direction.
Okay.
So, persuasion.
Not my best roll. Persuasion 18.
Easily enough, with your marks of the Battleborn clan and your obviously well-to-do kind of look of adventurers, between a couple of guards and even a couple of passers-by on the street of these kind of well-to-do dwarves, you find this, you're led through the Crown District in the opposite direction of the Battleborn Champions Guild House and the Keep, more to what would be technically the south side of the city of the Crown District. And you're led through these beautifully gilded streets, immaculate cobblestone tiles as you're walking along. You see no people like working class, like no carts or anything on these streets. The only people out here are people walking and kind of leisurely taking in the day. You see a lot of gardens of like this fungi, kind of like mushroom gardens and like phosphorescent. What's like the colorful like mushrooms? Yeah. People are just kind of taking care of that, and these massive, beautiful, again, gilded dwarven structures. And eventually, with that persuasion check, you are led to someone who points you in the direction of one manor with this massive, wide, kind of curved entryway, a gated entrance, and though the gate is open, that leads up into this kind of roundabout sprawl and this massive manor, for lack of a better word.
I'll turn to Hondo. Would you ever want to live in a neighborhood like this?
It has its charms, but I need to be by water, by the coast.
Makes sense.
What about you, Brawley? This whole Dwarven city, does that kind of ring true to your heritage, or?
Honestly, it really does. I feel like I could stay here for the rest of my life if we all really wanted to, but of course my home is with you guys, so wherever you guys go works for me.
We're a family, Lav. We all love each other. Sometimes we hate each other, but mostly love.
This place
It's
looks...
all love from me. I'm a loving guy.
I was talking about hate towards you. I love everyone else, mostly. Lav, have you ever been here before, to the Oaken Stones?
Yes, I have stolen things from here before.
Oh.
Wait, no, I mean, yes, I have been here before.
Okay.
It's very beautiful, especially inside some of these homes, and they have very beautiful things.
Okay, maybe don't reveal the first part as we get closer to here.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You stole part, that part.
You stole things from here?
No, no.
You've been here before?
Let's keep moving.
As you guys begin to make your way up the kind of front terrace and beyond this this kind of large fountain that is kind of just sitting in the center of this garden area, and up into the grand estate, knock on the door, and it's a solid stone door, and you can hear it kind of ring through the house, and a moment passes as the door creaks inward, and this halfling face kind of pokes out. He's wearing like these little spectacles, but his hair is kind of slicked back. He's wearing this kind of tiny little vest and tie, little cravat.
Bless him.
And he says, "Hello, welcome to the Greystone or the Oaken Stone estate. How can I help you?"
Sir, it's a pleasure to meet you. We're the Wildcards. We're a band of adventurers, and we've got some relics and magical antiquities that we'd like to show and maybe have a dialogue with the Oaken Stones about.
Excellent. Of course. If you just wait out here one moment, let me see that they're willing to take guests.
Sure, and just so you know we're legit, I'll tap the Battleborn thing.
He nods, but he seemed already interested based on like a cursory glance over your crew, and without even needing this signet ring, he was already kind of interested in you talking about being adventurers and having relics. He was already kind of like you're the clientele, but he closes the door and he heads inside, and you kind of stand out there for a couple of minutes. It's a relatively long wait, to the point where you're kind of getting worried you're about to be stood up on the stoop of this manor, before the door swings back open, and he opens both doors into this just gaudy, enormous estate inside, this massive foyer with just brilliantly glittering this candelabra hanging from this roof illuminates, like everything is kind of glittering and lightly sparkling, as he gestures for you to enter and says, "Welcome, Wildcards, to the Oakenstone estate. My Lord Eldor and Lady Atara will see you in the guest room here." And he leads you into
Eldor,
Eldor, and Itara, Etara.
Can I do an investigation check just to see what this room is like?
You can do a perception check for sure.
Yeah.
Go nuts. Roll a d20 plus your perception bonus. Dang, son.
Ooh, each.
So that's 29.
As you make your way inside, and you're led into this grand foyer, and you can see this massive staircase like rise up and curl around into the second level, where you can see this kind of balcony atop, and you see there's a door to the left. There's doors past the large staircase, and there's a door to the right where you're being led inside to the right. And as you quickly case the joint, your thieving eyes spy every kind of surface here is gilded or gem encrusted. They are opulent in their wealth, and it shows. Almost every surface here has something shiny to it. You don't see anything like that specifically stands out, but almost every surface here stands out. It's,
But nothing loose. There's nothing loose. It's
not
all like
necessarily, not necessarily anything loose.
I'll just whisper quietly. Wow, I bet the security in here is insanely good. And I'll look at Lav and I'll look at Hondo.
And over his shoulder, this halfling kind of like half looks back, half kind of chuckles and says, "Only the best in the city, of course, for the Oaken Stones."
Of course.
And he pads his way into this room where he pushes open another double door, and you enter into this long room where there are two cushy-looking couches and two armchairs sat around this small coffee table, essentially. But behind them, you see this massive fireplace. Everything is kind of this rich dark stone, and the floor is covered in these beautiful carpets with this like really intricate design. And all throughout this room, again, Hondo, to your thieving eye, glitters all over the place. Everything is kind of sparkling and opulent. However, I'll carry your perception over into this room. In each corner of the room, you notice almost shrine-like. Shrine has like a negative connotation, but like each corner of the room has a little area built up to it around either a small statuette, or one of them has this brilliant bottle, almost like a hookah bottle with these like hoses that come off of it, but it's massive. And around them, all these kind of different items and figurines and pictures and paintings and things like that are all kind of, the four corners of this room are interestingly decorated. And in the center of the room, you see who you would assume to be Lord and Lady Oakenstone. Two dwarven individuals, one male, one female. Eldor, his beard is very close cropped and almost like jet black. Hair is just slicked back in like a widow's peak. They both look, Allie, you would recognize, it's sometimes difficult, especially Allie, but everyone, it's sometimes difficult to gauge the age of dwarves and elves, as their ages are significantly longer than most others. They both seem, they both have an air of being older but looking younger. They have definitely done some work to make themselves look young and virulent. And they both are wearing
Oaken Stones.
Basically.
That's it.
They're both wearing just brilliant clothes, kind of this long flowing silking clothes. And each finger is adorned with like a gemmed ring and like heavy jewelry around the neck. And the halfling says, "My lady, my lord, the Wildcards." And he kind of does a grand gesture to you guys and just kind of stands there as the two.
I'll bow.
There's
Respect.
a real awkward wave.
What does Lav do?
Lav's like literally not even paying attention. She's just like,
And Brawly just kind of goes,
Nice.
Sick.
The
Pleasure to meet you both.
we're more than happy to take in guests and hear your stories. We love to hear stories of adventurers, and we're more than happy to bring you into our home. Please take a seat. And they both sit down in either armchair, and you guys sit around and say, please tell us about yourselves. We'd love to hear more about you before potentially getting down to business.
Of course. Well, what story doesn't begin with our most recent adventure? Something exciting like a journey to hell and back into the abyss. And I'll tell a little story using like minor image occasionally. Unless do I still have that?
Minor illusion?
Minor illusion, that's it.
Isn't minor illusion a cantrip?
Just showing some cool stuff like the pit, Hondo shitting on the floor, the crowd going nuts.
Lavender messages into Val's ear and just says, "Should we tell them about the time you burned down that city?"
Like, no! What a time! And I don't know if I'll go into specific details of why we were there, but I'll mention we were in hell, we fought in a pit, and then we went to the abyss and explored an ancient crypt. But I don't think I'll mention
the specifics.
Yeah, the specifics.
Yeah. Give me a performance check.
Oh, I'm not actually good at this shit. I'm not that great.
Can I inspire him by going like, "Oh wow, that's really cool"?
You were there.
Natural fucking 20.
Well,
Yeah.
So you did inspire him. For a total of?
Total of 27.
What are you talking about? You're not good at it. You had a +7.
I know, but the other things are much better.
Yeah, your expertise, no, but you're still proficient in performance.
Yeah.
Your story, your tale. At first, they seemed hesitant to kind of get invested in the story of you adventurers going to the darkest, most evil kind of layers of hell and the abyss. However, your turn of phrase, you're enhanced by your illusion. You've taken the shinier parts of your adventure, and you've really presented that you guys have seen and done some amazing things. And as you kind of finish each section of the tale, they like clap and they're very invested.
Especially, I want to tell the part where we say goodbye to Niavir, and I just fucking ham it up. I just ham it up so much. Like, want Hondo to cry so bad. I keep looking
There's
at him.
music in the background.
Itara is taking like this handkerchief and dabbing her eyes as you go through the part about Niavir, and even Eldor is kind of sniffling and hiding his sadness.
The whole time in the background, Mary's doing that thing you do on like super expensive, really uncomfortable furniture, where it's like sitting on the edge and just being like, "Oh my god, this is so," and then like shifting, and trying to look casual. And
I shoot her dirty looks when it squeaks. Be fucking cool.
Just this place is weird.
And they both, as you kind of finish your story, they both clap again and say, and Atara is still kind of like drying her eyes as Eldar looks to you and says, "That was one hell of a story. It has been a long time since we've had adventures of your caliber within these halls. It is, wow. If you don't mind, we will be sharing your tale with some of our friends. I think a name such as the Wildcards should be out in the world, and your exploits should be told.
Thank you.
If you would allow me, I will do it.
Please, I'm working on a book. Almost got draft 1 done, I think, so I appreciate that. It's lovely.
When you have your first draft, please send it our way. We know some publishers in the area. It's perhaps we could put this together.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
Of course.
Thank you. We do, though, not to get down to brass tacks, but we do have some items that we're not sure what to deal with, and for more of our adventures, we were hoping for some more aid, if that's something that you have and you're willing to trade.
Well, we have, as some of you may have noticed, and they kind of gesture to the room, we have amassed a quite a collection of items that we are rather fond of and have spent a fair amount of our fortune on acquiring, and each comes with its own amazing story and its own tale, such as your own. We would love to see what you have to offer, of course, and given you are such grand adventurers, we would give you a great price should you be willing to part with any of your relics items.
That's totally fair. I don't know if you guys have anything. I had a couple things in mind. Hondo, I know you love to deal with these kind of things.
Oh, I have a few ideas.
That's fair. If you wanted to, let me look at what Gord has.
Gord has a shitload of stuff.
He has a lot of stuff, but he's so full up on attuning. But I also don't want to give away any of his shit.
Yeah. Get rid of the book.
Get rid of the book, the staff, and the chains.
His rider chains.
Let's pick one thing. He won't need all. He won't miss it all.
Well, the only thing I'm thinking of, because that game is he has that dancing sword that he was very disappointed with.
Yeah, that one.
I don't want to get rid of it because it's something he's been talking about since the beginning of the campaign.
But he got it, and it had nothing to do with what he thought it was. I don't know. I don't want to get rid of shit for him, but this is a good opportunity for him. So I don't know.
I would say that's kind of the only thing that would be interesting.
Armor of Cold?
Maybe. I mean, he's not wearing that, so you could present that as something that you wanted to sell.
I mean, it is made out of dragon.
Yeah, that was
the dragon that attacked Arendelle. There's a story behind it. They might like that.
Yeah, the scales of Raydur.
Hondo, you have some stuff that you can attune to because you have too many attuned items too. Right?
Yeah, Hondo, what were you thinking?
Yeah, let's go through your guys' stuff first. Let's say that.
I have a bird, Jamaica.
Oh my god, you're gonna sell him?
If the price is right.
Oh my god.
Jamaica.
Hondo has a
What a peculiar name.
He's a very he's with it. Let's say that.
Okay. Could you tell us more of Jamaica's story?
I won him in. No, I did not win him. I have many items. I traded for him.
It was a gift.
You could say gift trade. With my good friend.
It was a trade.
He served Gord very well. He's done many spying missions for us, many battles he's served. But for me, he's a bit of a luxury that I could use for other things.
It's fair.
Give me a persuasion check when you get a second.
Come on, Hondo.
See if you can persuade them to be interested in Jamaica.
It did accompany us in the abyss. I will say that.
Oh.
Let's see what's your persuasion.
It is.
It's not bad, but
I don't know.
7, so 11.
You can try and trade this.
They both, as you kind of present the Eagle Lord's glove, they both kind of look it over, and they say, well, I mean, the glove is not in the best of condition, admittedly, and
it's a little stinky.
What have you been doing with that glove?
It's not exactly something we would wear to parties or to show off. It's kind of gaudy, really.
If you want to show off or wear something at a party,
if it does,
mage hand out the vile crown.
Ooh.
Okay.
Just show that.
And they say, this is an interesting looking piece, but what is its story? What is it?
Please, do not tell this tale, for this artifact has vile origins. We took this from a necromancer, a dread, evil necromancer from the abyss. He wore it for what I can only assume were centuries and performed dark, dark deeds with it. But I don't know if I want it in my possession brings back terrible memories of losing one of our own wild cards.
Make a persuasion check.
You got it.
I forgot about
Persuasion?
this thing.
That is 25.
Yeah, they are. They're interested in this vile crown, though they don't want to touch it based on what you said.
That's cool. I don't want to touch it either.
Itara kind of snaps her fingers, and the halfling runs back over, and she speaks with him quietly for a moment, and he rushes off. And a moment later, he comes back in through the other side of the room with this like a mannequin head that you would display like headwear on, and she sets it on the table, and she kind of gestures for you to mage hand the crown down onto this mannequin head.
Is it like a super gaudy velvet one?
I mean, yeah, like it's not just like a plastic mannequin head. It's like it's it's velvet of some kind. And they both kind of look over and inspect it, and they're both like kind of discussing back and forth about this, how striking a piece it is, and how the story would be so perfect to tag on to the end of the story of the Wildcards. And they're both kind of like, we're very interested. However, we'd like our son to take a look at it if that would be okay with you. We don't want to bring in anything too dangerous.
Of course. I would just say, like, to be around when he tests it and.
We need now.
Sure, please. Just please don't put it on without taking the right precautions or anything like that.
Of course. And she, Itara stands up and leaves the room. But Eldor continues and says, "Was there anything else that any of you had to put forth?"
Can I make one quick check? Can I do an insight check on these people? Just want to make sure they're not about to fucking kill us all.
So you want to insight whether they have ulterior motives, or
yeah, I want to make sure we're still vibing with good intentions.
Yeah.
13.
They're not necessarily difficult to read. They seem like they're pretty obvious. Like they have wealth. You know, they're not hiding that. That is in your face, if anything. And they don't seem necessarily malicious either. They both seem like they are interested in your story, interested in trading items and acquiring items. And as soon as you started like laying things out and telling your story, are they gone? Oh, you're back. You flickered.
Someone tried to FaceTime us, so sorry.
Oh,
I like screwed up our thing.
Could you hear me, or did it go away?
No, I got all of that, but it just looked like frozen on our side for our camera. So we're all good.
Yeah, it looked weird. Sorry. They don't seem malicious. They don't seem they have negative intent. They just are interested in the story. They're hard to read in the fact that like they are. It's just not obvious.
Yeah. I know. I saw that too, Mary.
But yeah, so he is curious if there's more that you have to offer. You had talked about having several things. So.
Yeah, so I will also show. There is one other thing. That necromancer, I dare not say his name, also possessed this. And I'll take out the Talisman of the Sphere.
Okay.
And show that.
Again, he doesn't touch it and kind of gestures for you to mage hand it around the neck of the mannequin head, for lack of whatever it would be called. I don't know. This display piece. And again, just kind of ask for its story and what does it do?
When we came into the necromancer's crypt, our thief, our daring crypt diver, tomb raider of sorts, worked his way in. Cautious, careful, he moved. But in the center of this room was a dreaded sphere of necrotic energy. He carefully maneuvered around it, but when he tried to get inside the coffin of the necromancer, he tripped the trap, and this terrible necrotic energy attacked us and almost killed us. We do think, though, had we been in possession of this is how the necromancer was able to move throughout the room and not trigger these terrible traps.
Interesting. This is all very fascinating. This necromancer must have been one hell of a foe. You say you defeated him?
We did.
That is a feat that few in these days have been able to accomplish. This is truly your band of adventurers. I'm quite amazed. Your name has not crossed my ears yet.
It's shocking it hasn't, because I'm Valentine Amadeus Maximilian Samson Francis Wilde, and a lot of people know that name.
I admit it's a mouthful.
I'm working on branding.
I'm
I was
looking
shortening it.
at Lavender and just like trying really like rolling eyes, and then trying really hard not to like hide. Just a little bit of disdain for these people.
Mary, that one there, she slayed him.
What? Yeah.
She was a
how did you slay this?
Mary, tell the story. Mary, tell the story. You tell.
I would love to hear.
He was like flying, I guess.
Yes.
And then Alana like she threw me, I guess, and
like a stone in a hurricane, she soared through the air.
Hi,
Yeah.
Chapter.
Yeah, and then I just like gesture to my swords vaguely.
Lavender nods and Lavender nods and gives Mary this like little tiny fist pump, being like, "Oh, that's pretty cool."
Eldor like nods and then kind of crosses the room as Itara and this younger dwarf enter from the opposite side, and as he crosses the room, kind of nudges beyond into Valentine, and says, "Maybe you should be the one to tell the story."
I'll tell the story.
I hope. Yeah. Okay.
I'll look at Mary. Just disappointment.
Just like shrug, like what?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he crosses the other side of the room as Itara returns with this younger dwarf who obviously resembles the two of them. Young male dwarf. He's wearing these spectacles and is rather thin and rather tall for a dwarf, actually.
Does he shoot eyes at Raleigh?
No. He actually doesn't look at any of you as he enters the room. As he enters the room, he's kind of adjusting these spectacles, and he looks directly at the crown and the middle of the room where these objects have been presented. He makes his way into the room as Itara kind of gestures and says, "This is our son Ezra. He's practiced in the arts of the arcane. Is this all of the items we were talking about today?"
Hondo, do you have anything you want to mention? Brawley? Mary? Even Lav?
Well, you know how girls really like clothes. It's just like it's been a long journey, and I don't really need all of these cloaks. You know what I'm saying? I have a wondrous item. It's very uncommon. It's a beautiful shade of green. The season we're going into, you're gonna love it. It is the Cloak of Elvenkind, and it's one of a kind, but not really. It's just kind of your style.
They say,
and I didn't have a lot of wisdom, but this could give you even more.
We have certainly heard of these kinds of cloaks. To be entirely frank, the style of the elves is not exactly one of ours. Their fabric is too soft. It's just not our thing. But thank you.
Sir, you could definitely get it tailored to your size. Not saying you're small or anything. I'm just saying.
I don't believe that we are going to be interested in this. Truly, it is a common item.
Actually, you know what? I don't want to trade it anyway. It's very soft. I would love to keep it for myself. Thanks for doing business, but I think I'm going to keep it, okay?
That works for us. Thank you.
I lean over to Alana and go, "Oh, God damn it, I like her now."
Agreed. She's pretty awesome.
I do have a ring that you might be interested in.
Please
I
tell us
I
about
got
it.
it on one of my many journeys. It has served me well. It is known as the Ring of Animal Influence.
If we could see it as well, is there an interesting story to how you acquired this, or some wizened elder figure of the forest who you bartered with or did battle with?
Let's just say there was a great war and one side didn't come out on top. And that meant a lot of treasure for another side. I happen to be on one side, which you can tell.
Make a persuasion check.
I'm pretty sure that's a deception check, but
I'm doing with it in persuasion because it's absolutely deception. I want to see how what's your total? I want to see how well he can try and like just ingratiate them to his side. Like obviously it's a lie. That doesn't need to be there.
Deception.
Persuasion.
So that's 18.
Persuasion.
Persuasion.
Oh,
I
persuasion.
think it's the same.
18.
not bad.
They say, well, that is indeed a vague story, but one that we could embellish. Perhaps it could be added to the pile, and they kind of gesture for you to set it on the tabletop with the other 2 items, if you're willing to potentially part with it.
Yeah.
Raleigh, do you have anything, or Mary? You guys good?
No, I only have my boots of striding, but
That keeps you at the same speed with everybody.
Yeah, so she'll keep them.
Admittedly, I don't have much, and I kind of need what I have.
That's okay. I was just curious. I just wanted to make sure that we had everything out there before, continuing.
Sorry to interrupt. Are we putting the scale mail on? Gourds?
I don't think... I mean, it would have a good... This is out of game. It would have a good story.
Yeah.
Maybe that's something, Scott, we hold back and, sweeten the pot.
Sure.
So just for, out of conversation, out of game, he's technically wearing the armor, but he's not attuned to it to get the cold resistance.
Oh.
So he could wear scale mail armor, and you could just buy him some scale mail armor, and it would literally be no difference. However, if he was to want to attune to it to get the cold resistance, then you would be depriving that. But he also has 7,000 things to attune to. So, how often is he going to drop one of these to get cold resistance? It can be very.
He has the Ring of Warmth too.
No, he sold that.
Okay, never mind. I was gonna say he already had cold resistance, but no. Okay.
No, he sold that a while ago. That's the only thing I would say he could part with. So I'll let you guys make the call. I think it makes sense to put it into the mix. There's magic and potions and shit you guys can get resistance to elements from. And it's highly unlikely that he's going to attune to it. So I think we could make the executive decision if you wanted to throw it into the mix. Or as Leah said, you could hold it out as, potentially extra.
I got one of those alerts that someone was trying to sign in on my Apple ID, so I'm just putting out a quick message. It's kind of weird.
That's all good.
Oh, shoot.
I think we don't do the armor. I think we just leave it.
Okay.
I didn't
Rock
really
has
see
a cloak of billowing. He has so much stuff. Sorry, I'm going through his stuff. He's a cloak of billowing. He has the demonic robes.
Yep.
Keep those.
He has so much shit. He's 5 times more stuff than Mary does.
Why don't we do the cloak of billowing? He's not wearing that. I don't know if they'd want a fucking cloak that just billows.
It also has
Don't even worry about it. Let's just leave this pile, see what we
Where
got.
did we get that?
I remember him getting it. It was a while ago.
I think it was
I think
session
it's a
3.
I honestly don't remember. I thought it was somewhere in Verdantia, but because it's like a nothing item. It's just a throwaway item.
Oh, I think it was when we were in Arendelle for the first time, and you guys wanted to go magic shit shopping, and you're like, "This cloak will make you look very fancy," and then he bought it.
That's what I did too.
Oh, that does sound familiar. Yeah.
Okay, so as you guys have finished placing your items on this table, their son Ezra is kind of looking over them all, and you can see him begin to kind of trace these arcane symbols in front of him as he begins to cast a spell. And for a moment, there's this kind of flash of arcane energy across the room, and he kind of, for the first time, looks up at all of you, and there's a moment of like, he kind of actually recognizes that you guys are there for the first time, and he kind of gives like a quiet nod and then returns to looking at the items in front of him, and without touching, kind of the same way that Valentine does, he lifts the items up with with magic, and it begins to float aloft in front of him as he begins to cast another spell. And there's this 10-minute kind of like ritual of the items kind of slowly revolving around the group, around the room, and you guys watch as the elder Oaken Stones kind of watch with just like bated breath. They're both just like drawn by this like quiet ritual. And Ezra finishes casting spells that every now and again you see a flash of arcane or a glitter across one of the items, and he sets them all down on the table, looks you all over, gives a slight nod, and then returns to his family and kind of whispers to his mother for a moment, turning away from you to whisper to her, and she nods, and he leaves the room.
Weird shit.
Itara, she looks to you all and says, these items do appear to be as you claim, so we, I believe, would be interested in the lot. All three have some interest and definitely a story to be told. Perhaps, is there anything that you are in the market for, or would you just prefer to see a tour of our room and see what we have?
I think a tour would be interesting.
They kind of begin to get you up off the ground, off of your chairs, and kind of take you around the room. And I'm not going to go into the whole length of it because it will take forever. But you guys are there for like an hour and a half as they pour over each item, and they definitely embellish every story. But you hear tales of great adventurers, wizards, not to the lengths of like the darkness that you guys have traveled, but like some who have excavated well into the north and found shipwrecks and things like that where items have been found. Some have come from beyond this plane. There are a couple of items that are of the elemental planes, some from the city of brass, some just are items that are crafted enchanted items that just come from well-known artisans and enchanters. A lot seem to have come from Marrakesh and from the capital city of Osmet. But as they take you guys over, there's a beautiful pair of boots that they talk of being boots of levitation. In cool. one corner of the room, there is a lot to this one of these shrines, or to the city of Osmet, this Marrakesh in the south, and there's a lot of like almost like Arabian Nights. Like this whole corner is kind of just like silken and decorated in that kind of manner. But in the center of it, on this little pedestal, you see a conch shell that they say that came from the city and was crafted within the guild halls in Marrakesh, and is known to help aid in the teleportation of certain creatures, of groups of creatures. In another corner, there's this kind of darkened shroud, and they lift off this fabric to reveal this crystal ball that sits atop a pedestal as well. There are atop the fireplace on either end, you see this pair of golden lions that are just these small little statuettes of these two golden lions, and they are beautifully crafted, and they have like these little red ruby eyes. They bring out this small box as well, and they set it on the table. It's like jewelry box, this long box that is like lacquered and beautiful. As they open it, there is a ring, there is a piece of amber, and there is a potion bottle. And they say that the ring is a ring of protection. The gem of amber is a spell gem. And the potion, they say, is one that will lengthen your life and rejuvenate you.
The whole time we've been talking, I'm just watching her and trying to with my bullshit meter up.
Make an insight check.
Cool.
Out of game Hondo, you might like those lions a lot.
Not great.
The lion? Really?
They come to life. If I'm right, they would come to life.
I still have to ask for what I want.
Well, I don't know if they can make. They can't really make anything.
No, they
23, Kyle.
A 23?
Yep.
They're definitely embellishing some of these stories, but the truth comes through that they are what they say they are. The items, at least they believe they are. They are items that have come from around the world. A lot of them have come from beyond this plane. To those parts, you can tell they're reciting kind of like a script of sorts that they've prepared and talked about.
Yeah.
But they're being truthful to their story. Whether it is a true story, they believe so.
Do we know what level that spell gem goes up to?
You could do your own investigation, or you could ask.
Do you know how powerful this spell gem is?
We don't. However, we could call Ezra back in here if you would be so curious about the amber.
Yeah, I liked him. He was a fine fellow. Why don't we bring Ezra back?
One moment, then. And Atara gets up to go and get Ezra again. And Eldor says, given the items you've shown and the truthfulness to which your story seems to claim and the power level at which these items hold, my son says that they are certainly worth their weight. We'd be willing to perhaps let go of one of our items, maybe perhaps two, depending on what you're looking for, if you're looking for straight trade.
Tell me about these lions.
These lions, we're told, can become lions. They are as they seem. They have the ability to turn into a pair of lions and can do so for up to an hour.
It's pretty fucking cool.
That is cool.
What was the maybe you didn't embellish, or maybe I missed it. What was the teleportation thing?
Yeah, what's the conch about?
So this is something that we're very happy to have received from the city of Osmet. It is imbued with the ability to teleport a group to the city of Osmet, and from anywhere in the plains, we're told.
Osmet could be like our base if we need to escape quickly.
We already
Of course.
have a base.
We have a base.
No, but I mean, like in an emergency,
never a bad thing
we
to
need
have
to
two
get out
bases.
and go to Osmet.
We have like 2 bases, now that I think about it.
It's our get out of jail card.
It
Yeah.
could very well serve as that. It could be a summer home, as we have.
Did you say across the plains?
We'll have to not like that.
I don't like these people either.
But I have one request. You've
Please.
seen a lot of items in your time. You must have a lot of items. Have you come across a particular item?
Okay, this is all you want.
Could you be more specific?
Well, I'm looking for... You see, I come across a lot of people in my travels. I see a lot of people I connect with a lot of people. I'm a people person. And so, one of the obstacles is naturally communication. I mean, we all have the universal language of love, but that can only get you so far. I'm looking for a ring that will allow me to communicate in a more traditional sense with people who speak different languages.
I see.
Necklace.
I think we're on the same page. It's not something we have in our possession, within our collection. It's something that wouldn't serve us in our home and as a display piece. However, you're better suited to speak to the enchanters in Arendelle, perhaps, or if you were to make your way to Marrakesh, they have a very wide selection of arcane items that can be perused for wealthy patrons such as yourselves.
That's what I was afraid of, but it was worth a chance.
I'm sorry, friend. I wish I could help.
Has Ezra come back so we can just get a read on this one spell thing?
He comes back and just kind of, again, barely looking at you, just says, I was asked for.
Ezra, pleasure to meet you. Could you tell us a little more about this spell gem? What kind of spells it could hold?
The Amber spell gem can hold up to a 4th level.
What do we have now out of game?
Second.
I don't remember. Second?
Yeah.
I guess it would depend on what we want, right? Because some of these are going to be more expensive. What of the rings? Did we cover that already?
How much is the Ring of Protection? What's the bonus on that?
Oh, it was a Ring of Protection. Gotcha.
Ring of Protection is a +1 to AC and +1 to all saves.
Ooh. And is that a tune?
I'd honestly be cool with keeping our stuff. I already got Fern. Brawley's got Keith. We don't really need lions. The boots of levitation are kind of neat, but I don't know. You just go up and down.
What is that potion?
It's a potion of longevity.
It could kill you. That's what you think it is.
It basically makes you young.
Don't tell Honda that. He's gonna want that.
That's
is anyone actually attuned to that spell gem right now?
It's floating around. You don't have to attune to it. We could pour whoever uses it has to attune to it to put a spell in, and then whoever uses it just to activate the spell doesn't need to be attuned to it.
Okay.
I'm cool with keeping our stuff.
I'm trying to think if there was anything else there.
There was the Boots of Levitation, the Conch of Teleportation, the Crystal Ball, the Golden Lions, Ring of Protection, the Amber Spell Gem, and the Potion of Longevity.
Guys, the Crystal Ball is it a scrying ball? Is that what it is? Huh? Mm-hmm. I mean, we definitely have people that it wouldn't hurt to keep an eye on or to see where they're moving to. It might help us get a leg up in our current situation.
It essentially can cast scrying through it for free once a day.
I'm just thinking, imagine if we could look in on probably not the big bads like Throatier and them, but if we met a rando baddie and they got away, we can then watch them, see when they're meeting people. Check in on your family, Val. Make sure they're okay. There's a lot of use out of scrying that none of us have access to outside of needing an item for it.
Okay, so if we take 2 things, hopefully we could get 2 things. We could use this crystal ball, and then what's the other one we like?
I mean, the spell gem's cool, but I don't know how expensive, if that would be a higher end item or not. But at the very least, that's you said it's a 4th? Even just a dimension door in there, Scott, or something.
It's true.
It's a 4th. That's high. Those would be the 2 items that make the most sense to Leah. Mary doesn't know what most of these are, but
yeah, and this would be a spell. This would be a object you could put the spell in, and you could use it whenever. So even if you're out of spells, you could summon it. Tell me, good lady Atara and Lord Eldor, my eyes enjoy the look of that crystal ball and that amber gem. Would you think this is a fair trade, items for items?
Give me a persuasion check.
It's a natural 20.
Was it really?
Yeah.
The two of them share a look, but then they both look to Ezra, and Ezra gives the slightest of nods, to which they both look back to you and say, "It would be our pleasure to make a deal with you, Valentine."
It's cool with me. Man, those lions are so cool just from, like, you get to summon lions, but it's just, like...
We have so many pets, guys.
They're very situational. Putting more pets on the board could be bad.
Lions aren't that strong.
I know, but it's just what I love.
Didn't you see Tiger King?
Did you see Tiger King?
I mean, Gord can be a tiger whenever he wants.
That's true. He is the tiger.
What do you guys think? You cool with that? Spell gem and crystal ball?
I think
For
they're useless.
terrifying necromancer crown, terrifying necromancer like talisman, and then what was the third thing?
The ring of animal influence.
And then this fucking bullshit ring.
So are we sure we don't want the teleportation?
It's just to that place, and I have
It's
teleportation circle now. Like I can
Yeah,
use.
it's just really specific. We also, out of game, we do have just a teleportation scroll. That could take us literally anywhere. It's a one-time use.
It's a teleportation circle.
No,
Just
we
like
have one of each.
I
We
don't
just
think
have a flat out. We just have a flat out teleport scroll.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I thought so. We had this conversation like a month ago. Anyway, maybe okay.
Yeah,
maybe
you guys had teleportation circle.
I thought we had one of each. Okay.
And you knew a sigil to the Platinum Sanctuary.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'll double check
Admittedly,
my notes, but I don't think so.
I think we might be getting more out of
Yeah.
these two items than that, only because that's very situational.
I say we do it and complete our shopping episode.
The Eldor puts a hand out to shake your hand and signify the end of a deal.
You guys cool with this? You good? Objections?
I'm okay.
I
No,
nudge
that's
Hondo
good.
forward. I nudge Hondo forward.
Hondo Eldor turns to shake your hand.
I offer him my hand.
He shakes your hand
and a dagger.
and they bid you all a farewell. Ezra kind of scoops up the items and kind of gets out of the room as the deal is struck.
After he leaves, I'll kind of say to his parents, too, Eldor, it's interesting. I can't say we've seen many arcane practitioners since we've been here. Your son must be special.
He is certainly special. He's very talented. However, you are very astute in your eye that the arcane practices are not exactly welcome within this city. However, we recognize their import in today's society, and to not have ourselves equipped in such a way would be foolish, honestly. It's one of the many things that we do not agree with the crown here. Their reliance on the gods and on divine magic is... it puts them in poor position. Not that we align ourselves with those in the outer city who shall not be named, but...
We're gonna be seeing that guy in the future. He's gonna fucking try and kill us later. He's gonna be an evil necromancer.
Yep. He's gonna have our shit now too.
Okay, great. This was so nice meeting you guys. I'm sure we'll come by in the future. And I'll follow you up on that lead on that publisher, you know what I mean? Great.
I will be feverishly awaiting your manuscript.
Oh, wow. That's so nice.
Alright, let's get the fuck
He wants to be a part of the story.
He will be.
Okay, you guys complete your journey. I'll drop the items into somebody's stuff. Who wants the crystal ball? Who wants a spell gem?
I already added them both just so I could look at them, but like anyone can have them. That's totally fine. I just want to keep them.
Crystal ball does require attunement to use. Just something to keep in mind. And the spell gem, as you already know, requires attunement to cast into, but then it could be anybody can use the item.
I'm pretty sure, like, for both of them, it should probably just be, like, floater items, and one of those, like, at the end of the day, does someone want to dump a spell in? Does someone want to attune to this and then attune back?
Yeah.
I'm trying to make sure someone had it in their person on their sheet, so I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, Scott has the bag of holding, so.
It's fine with me.
So now, if we make
What's
our
the
way
plan?
out of here, let's figure. It's late.
No, just what's the plan? It is later in the afternoon. It's like you're edging towards dinner time. By the time you guys finished your earlier shopping, you stopped in at the Pearl and had lunch and did your deal with Gina. The journey back up into the Crown, and then you guys were here for like 2 hours, almost 2.5 hours between all the storytelling and fucking all of you are so bored except for Valentine, who is
I am jazzed up.
Yeah, Mary and Allie were just like head in hands, just like, let's go.
Why don't we, Lav, why don't you lead us to where you know their base is now? Let's get this started.
How far is it going to take to get there?
Time.
Why will it take time? What?
Right, Crab?
Actually, I'm going to ask you to give me a history check.
I'm going to go to the bathroom.
Okay. 11.
11. You were not given direct instructions on how to infiltrate, where they would be. However, in your time here, you have put 2 and 2 together that the lower district where the roundhouse was, in the lower district of the city, you know that the Daggers operate in and around that district. Where specifically, you're not 100% sure, but you have seen them all around. And even the other night, when you were at the Roundhouse, you saw Murph there, and like you've seen other members of the Daggers in that area. So while you don't have a direct, like, I know where to go exactly, you have a district at least to start.
Okay, so how long will it take us to get there if
it's like half
it's
an
already
hour.
late?
Yeah, it's like a hour. Like it's not so late where you couldn't be walking the street. Like you're headed to like 5 o'clock.
Okay. Okay, I would love to show you guys. We can just go back to where we met. How romantic. And then we can have dinner there, and we can just kind of hang out, and maybe I will see some of my Dagger friends.
So you don't know where?
I do. Let's go.
Okay.
Okay, so you guys begin making... So just for clarification, you're just looking for signs of the Daggers? You're looking for the Daggers, like, headquarters? Where are you going to try to lead them to, Lavender?
I'm going to lead them to the south outer city of Hammerstock. So maybe
city.
Like in and around the... what was that place called? Maybe like in and around the Roundhouse, but like... even sketchier areas.
Okay. So you guys begin making your way down into the lower district, and it's a well-traveled journey for you guys by this point, and it does take about half hour, maybe an hour by the time you actually make your way into the lower district. And as you do, it is definitely lower lit. The only light coming from different like fires, and there's not so much as like torches lighting the way. The glitter of the upper city like hangs above you, high above, but the city streets here are definitely muckier and less well taken care of. Just flat stone, and the city itself, the buildings, the structures, you can see a lot of areas that have gone into disrepair, that have fallen by the wayside, as Lavender leads you down back to the outskirts of the Roundhouse and kind of that general area. Around the Roundhouse itself, you can see other like buildings, like there's some homes and a couple other like that look like bars and things like that. But it seems quieter at this point. The Roundhouse doesn't seem to be quite as raucous. Either the fight's starting later or there just don't happen to be as many people in the area at the time. However, you are now in the lower district. What are you guys doing?
I guess we should just keep an eye out for Lavender. You're at least familiar with the people here. It's getting to a later hour. It's getting to the hour people like this tend to do what they do. Perhaps we just fan out a little bit, maybe not separate, and just try to keep an eye out for behavior.
Okay.
Keep an eye out for my friend Murph as well. You guys saw him the other day.
Do we want to look different at all? Has that been discussed by anyone? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that can be something. I guess it depends on what our approach is here. Are we doing recon and finding someone to follow and then coming up with a plan to get into wherever they are, or are we approaching them?
I think recon. What do you think, Lev?
I look at you and I say, to be honest, some of us don't really fit in.
I just look at Hondo, look around, look at Brawley.
I look at Brawley and I
What
say,
is
but
it?
you look great.
Ah, thanks.
She really likes you. She just kills Amanda.
The feeling's mutual.
I will not change. I'll just be me. I think let's find some shady characters, go into their cool hideout, and talk shop.
Look,
Okay,
let's
so
at
this-
least for now. We can look like ourselves right now. But if we end up having to approach they know what we look like already. I wouldn't be surprised if word gets around here. We may end up having to pretend to be someone other than ourselves.
What's our story for wanting to talk to these people? Like, do we want to say that the Zentarum were the people in Rogue Point? That was the Thieves Guild there. We know about the Evenfall Council, right? I'm saying that right? That's like the Assassin Guild in
Evenfall Guild works.
Evenfall in Arendelle. Like, do we want to pretend we're from Evenfall? I mean, kind of.
I would say, the most we can do. We want to be careful about rivals,
Yeah. that's a good
right?
point.
We don't want to present ourselves as rivals.
We do. We should just go all out.
Apparently the Daggers have deep pockets, but they're not that smart or they're not that big.
We target
And then-
them.
We should learn a little bit more about the Will Breakers.
Yeah, they're the radical arcanists. That'd be interesting to know a little bit more about. Why don't we talk to the Daggers about the Will Breakers and see if they have beef and want to work something out?
What if they're? We need to come with them presenting something.
Val, sorry. You guys knew from the last game that the Willbreakers are funded by the Daggers.
Yeah.
Funded by.
So
Yeah.
they likely don't have beef, they have pockets.
They have friends.
So we can either go in saying we want to use you guys as, I need to talk to these Willbreakers people, but that seems a little too sketchy. I think
What
we
about-
might need to go in
I'm sorry, can I-
offering them something.
Ask Lavender and Mary, can you both give me a history check as well as you guys are discussing multiple guilds?
I have an idea.
Hold your thought, Kev.
Ooh, she got a natural 20.
We go to the
Ooh, I got a 19.
Hold on, Kev. One sec.
Yep.
So
You got a
totals.
Great. Lav got, what did you get?
23. Total.
19.
19 total. Okay. The two of you, as you guys are discussing rivals and discussing these multiple guilds, you both know that Evenfall and the Daggers have a tenuous alliance. Not really alliance, that's not the right word. They have a tenuous agreement to not fuck with each other, basically, is the best way to put it. Evenfall looks down on the Daggers. They don't think much of them, and the Daggers think of Evenfall as hoity-toity and pricks. But they both have a mutual, like, let's not fuck with each other, because it'll fuck with more stuff. They both despise the Zentarum. The Zentarum are looked as thugs, and while, like, not that the Daggers aren't necessarily thugs, the Zentarum use methods that are not cool. So nobody likes the Zentarum. You would definitely know that not to use the Zentarum.
What if we'd say we're guns for hire, we're just looking for a job, we've worked with Evenfall before, fuck the Zentarum, they're trash, look what they did to Rogue Point, and see if that gets us anywhere. Because
What were you going to say, Kev?
Yeah, Hondo, what are you going to say?
Sorry, Scott.
My plan revolves around a fake coup.
Okay.
We go to them with a proposal.
Yeah.
We have rich backers who do not like the rulers of this realm.
This is what we're trying to find out, though. But keep going.
So we present to them a way of overthrowing these rulers.
Well, see, what we're wondering is if someone else is already planning that.
We just want to catch them in the act, and then
I'm worried if we tell them that, they might like freeze up, or we're gonna get heat. I was hoping, kind of similar to what you're saying, to be opportunistic. Like, we're open to any ideas you guys want to do, and then hopefully convince them, and they could be like, yeah, here's our secret plan to kill the queen or something.
I mean, we could always say that in terms of a coup, it might be more like that we've heard, which is a lie, that Zentarum are making moves here. And going with we're guns for hire. Like, that can be like a secondhand thing. But
yeah, like they'll need more backup than the will breakers.
Could we create some fake evidence? Like...
Of a coup or of what?
Like, that the Zentarum have a plan. Could we create a scroll or something that we say we found or stole? Something forged.
Could.
I mean, I think Lav has a forger's kit. I might have a forger's kit. I don't know.
Kyle, are you doing that on
Maybe
purpose?
Lab can be useful in forged.
I just kind of looked up at my camera. I was like, ooh, it's nice and dark. I can just kind of drift into the dark.
That's pretty cool.
That's not
sorry.
a bad plan, Hondo. I mean, if we can forge some kind of letter,
I do not have
something we can say we intercepted, and or we're guns for hire, we're swords for hire, not guns. We're swords for hire, and if we have some information you may be interested in, as like a secondary thing.
What if we don't even risk that? Like, what if we don't risk a letter, something tangible? What if we're like, we heard the Zentarum are doing shit. Look what already happened to Arendelle. Look what happened to Rogue Point. We're swords for hire. We're interested in making some dough. We are kind of worried the Zentarum are planning something here. We caught wind of that. And just, like, feel them out.
I'm not adverse to that, but I worry that they don't know us. They will not trust us with just words.
I'm charming as hell, though. I'm worried that a fake thing could be easily spotted, and they could be like, oh, you know Hank in the Zentarum? And we're like, I love Hank. And we're like, Hank's been dead for years.
If it gets like that, we just kill them all.
I think that's always the plan, but let's go try and find them, and I think we just do it the wildcard way. We recklessly play it by ear and see what happens.
And we convince them that it's going to happen really soon, like at the Moonweaver Festival.
Great idea.
That it's like they have to do it at haste.
Yeah.
In the bags of holding, do we have any bodies that we could present as like...
Gord had to dump his bodies in favor of gold.
Yeah, Gord is the only one who might have pieces of bodies, but he does not anymore, as you guys had to exactly dump for space for your stuff. Okay, then this is what we're gonna do. As you guys come up with a plan, you're into the lower district. We're gonna do a skill challenge to see if you guys can try and find where this Daggers hideout is, or at least try and get leads towards it. Okay. So, what that entails I'm going to give you, each of you can try any of your skills. You should be proficient with it. You don't necessarily have to be proficient with it, but it's probably for the best. I would say I would prefer if you were proficient with it. But try one of your skills. And you need to accrue 3 successes before you get 3 failures on a DC that I set, and see how closely how many successes you get before failures, or vice versa, to try and make this place out.
Let's do it.
So there's no real structure. I'll narrate as we go along with what we're going to do. But whoever wants to try a skill, you say, I'm going to try this. I want you to say, I want to try this skill, and give me an idea of how you're going to use it to try and locate this place. And then we'll roll. I have a DC set that will depend on how difficult and how easy using that skill would be to do this thing. And we'll see what happens.
And can you just set the scene? Are we walking on the street, sun setting?
So, well, there's no sun. You're in a mountain.
Sun is set, maybe.
I did kind of set the scene when you were in the bathroom, I think.
Sorry.
So you guys are in the lower district once more, near the roundhouse. The streets are definitely dark. The only light coming here is from fires that are kind of almost like barrel burning fires. It's not a nice district necessarily. Definitely rough and tumble, just bare rock as the ground, and the alleys are just rock faces between these simple, still well crafted but simple structures. You look up into the towering kind of city above you, and you can see the faint lights above of the upper city, and it definitely feels like you're within a subterranean city. It's a little dour, and the people who you do see now on these kind of streets, they definitely look like they're working class, covered in soot from mines. You guys would have known that you could hear the sounds of industry on either sides of the city from different mines that are still working throughout 24/7 throughout the night. But yeah, you see there are some people making their way around. They look mostly working class. Some have hoods up and a little shadier, but mostly dwarfs. And mostly look like working class people. You see, as it is about the dinner hour, a lot of the bars and restaurants that are down here, which there aren't many, are beginning to get a little livelier, but not as lively as the other night in the roundhouse. So, hit it off. Who wants to go?
What do you want to do, Lav?
I've never done this before. You go first.
I want one of those
what?
one of those shady looking people.
Yeah.
I want to casually walk up to them. I'll kind of break stride with the group. Casually walk up to one of them, and I want to try and use persuasion and be like, hey, where Murph and his friends might hang out?
Okay.
The Daggers.
Make a persuasion check.
The straightforward.
18, baby.
Okay. There we go. You do not get through your first interaction, the first dwarf kind of just shoves you off and continues going. And you continue looking through, trying to pick out from the crowd, using your passive perception, passive insights, who do you think would be a good mark to try and that would try and fit into this kind of society. And you try again, and this one doesn't necessarily blow you off, but just kind of cautions you and saying asking these kinds of questions in this area is going to get you a knife in the back, friend. And they kind of continue on.
That's what I'm looking for.
But the third interaction you have, this kind of shifty looking figure points you in a direction away from this kind of local city center and down into this kind of derelict area and kind of points you in that direction, saying again you don't want to do this, but if you're headed in that way with a head of steam, that's over there.
Thanks, friend. Wink. And I'll walk back to the group and be like, we're headed that way.
So you're a little bit... One success.
Who's next? Skill
I've
challenge.
got an idea.
Yes,
All right,
bro.
hit it.
Okay, so if there is someone beefy around in the area that looks like shady, like they were involved, I want to go up to them and say, hey, friend, why don't we pit our strengths against each other and have an arm
Wrestle.
And if I win, you gotta tell me some little thing I need to know. Deal?
He says, I don't know if I know what you need, but I'm always down for an arm wrestle. And they pull over this barrel from aside this random corner, and he sets up on this barrel. And I assume you're going to try and use athletics here?
That's correct. Yeah, I'm going to do athletics check.
Let's do it. It's going to be a higher DC because it is not a direct direct correlation. You got to kind of hope this guy knows what you're after. But give me your athletics check.
Okay. I'm going to try out my new dice.
Ooh.
Yeah, new dice.
That is...
As long as it wasn't a 1.
It was not a 1. I'm a derp at math.
It's okay.
That is a 17.
Okay. As you're arm wrestling the guy, and you're letting him kind of have the first few seconds. You're just kind of holding to see what he's got. And he's a beefy dude. He looks pretty tough. He looks like he works for a living. He's calloused hands, covered in soot, and he's struggling. He's starting to struggle, and you get 3/4 of the way into this like arm wrestling and just slam him down. And he just shakes his hand, just fuck. And as you says, all right, well, I lost. I'm a little ashamed to say, but what is it I can help you with?
I know it's somewhere around the area here, but do you by chance know anything where the Daggers are? Perhaps? Their location?
The Daggers aren't ones you want to be trifling with, but you're obviously a tough lass. You're in the right area, but I can't say I have any business dealings with them. I'm sorry. I hope I don't want to be one of them when you come up against them. So, sorry, but good luck.
Thanks for your help. You did great.
He kind of nods and like massages his arm. Unfortunately, he doesn't give you any direction. Unfortunately, it was a hard DC. To use athletics, but it was a great idea.
It was an awesome idea.
I know. I said it as a hard DC because it is kind of abstract. But unfortunately, it was one failure. But more attempts can be made. Anyone else?
Next?
I'm going to just wander a little bit and try to use insight, my only really good skill, just to try to find people who are like the look of people who are like shadily trying to find someone for a deal, or like, you know, sketchy meetings, and trying to suss out like who is being criminal and sketchy.
Okay. Make your insight check.
Ooh, not excellent. It's a 20.
Oh!
That'll do it.
Did you say not good?
Oh, wow.
Well, she said not good and then said 20.
I rolled an 11. Yeah.
So as you guys begin to walk down the direction that Valentine sussed out for you, you are keeping an eye to the streets, to the rooftops, where you would try and position yourself in the city as like this is a good defensible position or a good hiding hole. And you, having done so in your past, you begin kind of trying to spot the best alleys and spot the best shadowy corners, and you kind of make your way down this one section of town around. You're getting further and further away from the city center, and closer to one of these mines that you can see is kind of off in the distance. You can hear you're getting close to a mine, but you're not directly on it. It is to the north end of the city, and you get towards this area that looks like a what might have been once like a housing development in a way, and there's just a lot of just like derelict buildings. They look mostly abandoned and mostly definitely uninhabited and kind of fallen on hard times. And given your history and your insight check, you think that this would be where you would want to hole up in this kind of a city. So you're on the right track. You're getting a lot closer. That's another success. One more success. You're there.
Okay. So Lavender looks at everybody and she says, "Watch this." And she starts crying. And she walks up to like an old woman in a shop and she's just crying and she's beside herself. And she says, "Oh my God, miss, have you seen my cat? Her name is Dagger. My will is breaking over this. I can't even believe it fell out of my hands. And I don't know, she ran south of the city. Do you think it's okay that I go south of the city and into some of these dark corners? Do you know anything about that? Am I safe in that area? Dagger! Dagger!"
What skill are you trying here?
I'm trying to deception to
Okay.
have her believe that I am just seeking her help, and I'm looking for her to be like, "Don't go there."
Okay. Then yeah, make your deception check.
Okay.
As you do find this old woman, she's kind of standing on the stoop of one of these kind of shitty buildings. She's just smoking a cigarette, just big plumes of smoke from this heavy stubble of a chin.
I only got 13. She's not gonna give a fuck.
She straight up flicks her cigarette at you, and says, "You shouldn't be around here." And she kind of skulks back into her house.
So rude.
Unfortunately, a failure.
Meow. Okay. Bye. I walk back to them. I say to everyone,
What happened?
she realized that she lost her cat and she had to run away.
Why were you crying during that?
This is just a very heightened emotion thing. I'm just very proud to be a part of your group. Anybody else have something to do?
Okay, sure, that's fine. Hondo, you're a
Well,
rogue.
to you.
You
You
got
know where
anything,
thieves
Kev?
go. I will inspire Hondo and say, "You got this, pal."
Good call. Is there any? Also, I mean, not to take it away from Kev, but you guys could try something. You could try another skill yourselves if Kevin you don't want to, or if you have something, go fucking nuts.
Come back to me on this.
Oh my god.
Hondo, you're very good at just looking around. Why don't you just look around?
I feel I could offer more.
Okay, you want to work on it? You want to workshop it a bit?
Yeah. Okay,
Well,
I will go down to the street.
Okay.
I can stealthily scout the area.
Okay.
Try and perceive sketchy peeps.
Yeah.
If you want to try and use perception, try and use investigation to try and just locate like a hidden kind of a shitty section, or perceive, maybe like you guys were looking earlier for shifty people who are kind of standing guard over something, maybe.
Since I know thieves shorthand,
Mm-hmm.
I'll look for any signs that maybe some thieves have left behind.
There you go,
Thieves
son.
can.
Nice.
Using Thieves' Cant and investigation, you can make your investigation check with advantage.
Yeah, baby.
Okay.
Get
Plus
So-
inspiration.
it. Plus inspo.
You're inspired. So, if you fail this, you suck.
2 ones.
Okay.
That's good. That's good.
Plus.
You get another one too. You're at advantage.
Oh yeah.
So that's first one's 13. 18.
Ooh.
I'd probably take that one.
Yeah. And I just will pull out my sheet.
What do you
Investigation.
My investigation is +5.
Okay.
So 23.
23. With a 23, as you guys have been led down this kind of derelict area, with Hondo out front and the rest of you kind of starting to trail behind and let him do his thing, trying to keep to the shadows collectively, you make your way around this one corner and you kind of come to this open, almost like a square section of area, where the buildings have definitely fallen in. You can see a lot of them, like roofs are fallen through, and there are just like open doors and like caved in areas. However, you see this one string of about like 3 kind of homes that you, as you begin making your way around, on each of the corners, you can see a mark, and as you get closer, each of them are marked with this very small little scratched symbol that within the thieving world denotes home or base. And you guys are pretty confident, at least Hondo, you're very confident that this is a base, if it's the one you're looking for. Probably.
I pointed out to them.
Okay.
I whisper like, "This is what we're looking for. It's some kind of base."
Perfect.
You want me
As
to
you guys
keep the
begin
door
to
down?
group up there, as you all begin to group up there, let's take a quick break because I got to pee too.
perfect.
Leah's
All
gone.
right.
So let's take 5. Jumping back in, you guys are outside the derelict building that you assume is the Daggers kind of hideout. Hondo has identified that there are some thieves' camp markings on the exterior that, as you point out to the rest of the group, Mary, you notice them as well, and you both realize that they are indeed notations of either a hideout, a like stash house, is something like this is something related to like a hideout or something like that.
While Honda was kind of looking, I want to Mary will pull Lavender aside, just away a little bit from the rest of the group, so that the group probably can't hear, or if they're busy trying to figure out what the hell Honda's doing.
Okay.
I have something to ask you, and I want you to be straight with me. You are quite a smooth talker, and you enjoy talking in circles. And I want you to be straight with me here. And I don't mean any offense. I don't mean anything by it. I just need to know that you're going to answer me.
What was that?
I just need to know. I have something to ask you. Now, all this shit with the daggers and all this shady things going around, the people who tend to know about those things know about them for a few reasons, but none of them are usually good. And I want to trust you. I can't help liking you, which is really weird for me. I just need to know what your story is here, and I don't have to tell everyone else. Are you involved? Is this something that's going to come back to bite us in the ass? Are you part of something larger here? Or are you going to fuck us over?
I respect you for wanting to be straight with me. I will tell you this. Back at home in Estevatol, I met a lot of people. Most of them bad people. I have heard of all of these gangs, and I have decided to go a different way. There is a contract I am a part of, but it is only for good, and it has to do with these people. Not on their side, but I do need to get in there.
The reason I ask, like I said, people who know about these things tend to know because they're involved, and I'm going to pull out my pin.
Pin?
My Evenfall pin. And I'll just I'll quickly show it to her, and then I'll put it away. I might be a little more involved than you realize too. I just need to know that you're on the right side here.
Lavender, you certainly recognize the stamp or sigil that is on this Evenfall pin. It is definitely something that you recognize.
Which is an Assassin's Guild, right?
You don't really know very much, to be fair.
I meant for her, if she recognizes
They are a thieves guild in Arendelle.
Like Val, you would know that is like the guild that Alexander and Gray are a part of.
Yeah, and Lav would probably know that too. Well, not their names, but know that they're like...
Kind of mad I don't have one of these pins, to be honest.
You're on contract, son.
Are we all, Kyle? Are we all?
Sure.
What was your final thought there, Mary? Or final statement to her when you showed it to her?
That
I just said, I said that people tend to know about these things because they're involved.
And that you might be a little more involved than maybe she thought. Okay.
I look at her and I say, thank you for being so open with me. This has made me grow respect for you. And not that you were looking for it, but I think it's valuable. And I just want you to know that I'm not just here because I love to hang out in sketchy towns and have cigarettes flicked at me.
Then why are you here? I'm not going to tell the rest of the group if you don't want me to tell the rest of the group, but why are you here and who sent you?
I am on a contract, and I recognize that pin that you just showed me, because even though I do not have one of these pins, I might as well have it tattooed on my heart.
You're even, Fall. Who's your contact?
Okay, you know what? This is just so crazy that I just keep being like, I don't know, I'll talk to you. You clearly get it. I was also approached by the Hand of Even Foul, and I'm on a contract, and I do not have a pin, which I will be talking to them about. I hate that. Equal pay, people.
Did you say the Hand? You were asked by the Hand?
Of Even Fell.
Mm-hmm.
You know of this, or no?
Did you meet the Hand?
I mean, we all have hands, but not always do they shake.
Fucking okay.
I mean, sometimes a hand is an ear, is a mouth to tell you a message.
The mouth would have been better, to be honest. What the fuck does the Hand want?
Mary, I think you're getting things confused.
The Hand is Talia.
Not anymore.
Ooh. Well, Mary doesn't know that necessarily.
Yes, you do.
Okay.
After all of the stuff went down with you guys, things have definitely changed. The Hand is who you want it to be.
Who I want? Oh. He took over both.
It's me.
Not you. Interesting.
As she says, the Hand is a comfort, not a warning.
Okay. Interesting.
Are you guys done? Like, I'm just staring at this building. What are you guys doing?
I give them 2 minutes and I kick the door down if they don't.
I'll just kind of laugh at the incredulousness of this and Mary's sketchiness and say, to be fair, I took this pin. I don't own it.
I'll laugh as well and kind of slip her a tampon and then look at the guys and be like, girl stuff, you know what I'm saying?
All right. I say, to be fair, I'm not exactly a member either, and then I'll just walk back to the group.
Look at Mary with like a, we good?
I'll as I'm walking, I'll kind of turn my back to her, so like kind of walk back faster, and then just quietly message to the group, and just say I trust her.
Okay.
While she's walking, I also messaged her and say, time has run out on this conversation. This is going to get, other people will be curious. We'll talk about this later.
Okay.
All right, so we know where this hideout is. It's right fucking there in front of us. Do we just casually walk? Are there guards? What do we got here? Just like a door?
Give me a perception check as you are just kind of standing around.
This is true. This is the luckiest game I've ever had. This is another natural 20.
Holy
Man.
fuck.
Oh.
It's true.
It's just on a perception check. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
As Lavender and Mary go off to have this conversation, and Hondo and you kind of and Allie begin kind of like looking around the exterior, trying to keep a little stealth, trying to keep just looking around corners and things. You look inside this structure on either end that have these markings, and it's not necessarily it's not a house or a building, or it is a building, but it's not a domicile of any kind. You look inside and you can see it's kind of like a hallway that would connect 3 different buildings, but the middle section has been completely like blown out. You see like fallen brick and stone. These like what were once archways and walls between have just been kind of blown apart, like open rafters to holes out into the mountain above. You don't see anybody standing guard necessarily. It seems like an abandoned hall between like that was once like a townhouse almost, but it is just fallen into derelict. It's fallen completely covered in dust and fallen apart. With that perception check, however, you do notice there is a clearing of dust and space about midway through into one of the stoops that will lead into what was once one of these townhouses.
I think right there might be where we need to go.
Are we going in like this, or are we changing how we look?
I'm cool to go in like this.
They don't necessarily, not to put a damper on this, no one has reacted very well to your elven lineage.
Yeah.
Even just I'll use my stupid hat of disguise that I never use, and just make myself look like she's not very creative. Just not me. Just another different human who looks kind of sketchy. You know what? She'd probably just make herself look like her mother, because that's easy, and she knows what that face is.
Okay.
Just wearing like her old kind of outfit, basically.
Okay.
Her more beat up leathers, the sketchier ass cloak, less fancy swords.
Sure.
Lav did say she thought something weird was going on back at the roundhouse when that one dwarf went into like that closet. She's probably crazy and probably lying to us, but they might be able to do magic, or we might need to look for some stuff in here, so let's just keep our eyes open. Hondo, you seem to recognize some sort of like thieves, weird sign language. You might want to be looking for that or busting that out if we encounter anyone.
Thieves yes. The only I can't. Hondo and I, neither of us can layer it into Dwarvish. That might. I wouldn't be surprised. Well, if they're not very smart.
Lavin.
That's often a test.
Yeah.
Can I polymorph to look like Murph?
I would say you could shape change, not polymorph. Polymorph is like changing to like beasts and things.
Ah.
But you can still do it.
You can
What
do it.
happens
It's
if we encounter
different
Murph,
ability.
though? If we encounter him and it's like, oh my god, there's two of us. Like, he's not gonna talk to you.
But I may not be looking for him to talk to me. I may be looking for other people to talk to me because we already know of him.
That's fair.
She can do it like it's a free thing too, so if we see him, we can
right.
nudge her. I'm gonna look like me. I'm too handsome to change.
Okay.
Okay, let's move in. Be cool. Be good. Let's get shit done.
Okay.
Only way Hondo knows how.
You guys make a stealth check all around.
We use pass without a trace. I'm joking.
Gord's not here.
I know. There it is. That's the luck turn in.
Hondo, you're definitely stealthy.
That's fine.
You add +7. You're really good at it.
Oh yeah, okay.
So, what's mine?
These
21.
ones, yeah, those ones are hard. I got 10.
Okay.
Roll a natty 2, baby.
I'm also going to say Fern and Keith can't really fit through here, so they're going to have to stay back.
Stay. Watch your brother, Keith.
Sweet boy.
Okay, so Kevin got a fuckload. Valley, you got 10, 32.
Oh my god.
Lavender and Allie.
21.
16?
Okay, and Mary.
17.
Okay. Overall, very good. Trying to find the fucking paper and I can't find it.
It's my favorite thing ever.
I want to polymorph to look like you.
You
Just
could.
Fuck with someone.
Allie, have you seen those videos of like the goats out in places in Europe that are all coming off the mountain and back into town now? And they're basically like slightly smaller Keiths.
No.
They're like
That
taking
sounds
over
so
all these small
cute.
towns that are in quarantine, and they're like eating everyone's like garden beds. And they're just causing general havoc, but they're adorable.
That's
they're huge.
adorable. That's like the monkeys. The monkeys going around in the towns and they're like raiding, and there's just like, you see people running and there's just a swarm of these monkeys coming down the street because they see people and they're like, feed me, feed me.
It's not good.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Sorry, I'm just trying to find some notes. I somehow seem to have misplaced my notes. I have 1,000 different documents.
Don't doubt it.
There we go. All right. Okay. So, you guys, being very stealthy, begin to make your way into this shadowy entrance into what would be like the middle of these three townhouses. There's no door; it just opens up into a dust-covered, abandoned room. There's stone walls, stone floor. One other room around the back. It's like a long kind of house. However, with your previous perception and Hondo's passive perception, you can see a well-traveled line of dirt and in the dust of the ground that leads through to the back section. You don't hear anything that would immediately make you think that there's anyone directly in this room, and you're not sure what's beyond this like open doorway into the room beyond. What do you do?
I'll like nudge Hondo and be like, maybe check for traps as we do this.
Okay, I'll do it.
Okay, make an investigation check.
Is there can I see just on the while he's checking for traps?
Nice job. Oh, that's less than I thought.
His investigation's pretty good. I just want to see like a side investigation of like trying to see dust and like stuff like that to see how long it's been since someone's come through here. Like, is this a regular path people go?
That is a survival check then.
Oh, okay. Ooh, really bad.
Okay.
What's my survival? It's a 1. So that's a 5.
It's hard to tell. You are in the back of the group, so it's definitely difficult to tell because your party ahead of you, covers up any of the information you're looking for.
Yep.
Hondo, as you begin to make your way into this room, quickly scanning around, especially looking at the floor, the immediate room here is not trapped. It doesn't appear to have anything negative towards your group, and you begin to make your way stealthily through the room into the doorway, and peering beyond the doorway into the room behind. Continuing looking for traps, you don't see anybody. The other secondary room is the only other room. It just turns into these two singular long rooms. In this kind of townhouse. There's nobody in it. There's no furniture, more dust. There don't seem to be any traps. However, you do see a like cellar hatch in the back right corner of the room.
No traps, right?
Not as far as you can tell.
I'm going to investigate this cellar.
Okay. Throw me another investigation check. That's pretty good.
Wow.
Yeah, you and Scott have been rolling really well today. You look over this kind of hatch, this trap door, and it is locked. It is not trapped, but it is indeed locked. And you look over the lock itself, and it looks a very simple but well-maintained lock. That you also, I should say, simple but well-maintained. And as you kind of lift it up, you do see on the back side of the lock another one of those symbols. One of the thieves' cant symbols that denote a hideout.
Death.
Can I look for any secret doors?
I think this is it.
Is this the only?
This is the only secret door you can see.
Is that it right there, Hondo?
I'm going to kick it in.
I think it's
It's hard to kick in a trap door. It kind of only goes the one way. But you stomp your foot down on it, and it rings out beneath. And your whole group kind of takes a moment as you were at once attempting to be stealthy, now less so.
Do we have to fire Hondo from being in the front again?
Yeah, you just got downgraded. Let's put Lab in the front now. She has to prove her worth. Alright, Lab, first down the hatch. I'll lift it up.
Still locked.
Yeah, I was going to say, can she pick a lock?
I'll pick it.
Hondo picks it?
I have thieves' tools.
Okay, make your thieves' tools check.
Is that like plus 12?
Yours
so.
would be...
What?
That's fine. It's only a DC 15. Even your most lowest, you definitely unlock it. Like I say, it was simple. You quickly unlock it. The lock falls away, and now the trapdoor is unlocked. You can proceed.
I push Lavender in. Lead the way.
Lavender, unsuspecting, you suddenly begin to descend the steps rather rapidly. You don't fall flat on your face. This is just a couple of steps down, but you catch yourself and you hold yourself in 3-point stance at the bottom of this small ladder into this very low cellar. And as you kind of look around, you see a door on one side, a very heavily guarded door. It's got metal bars that cross it, and it's very at the outside it's got these thick metal kind of rim around it with these heavy bolts. And you see no doorknob or locking mechanism on the door itself. Give me a perception check.
Me.
We gotta switch out those dice.
I literally got 1.
No, you got 2. Oh, yeah, you did. You got 2 minus 1.
Not great. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to tell. You just, that's all you see.
Does she have dark vision?
I think so. I'm not 100% honestly, but.
I'll walk up to this door and try and investigate it, see if it's got any, hidden compartments or if there's...
Sure.
Yeah.
Make an investigation check.
Natural 1.
Woo!
I turn around
Holy
to Hondo
shit.
and I say, okay, big boy, you like to push a lady? And you could pick that lock? Try this door. Level up. Level up.
Yeah, bro.
The challenge I accept.
Okay. Hondo, as you walk up to this door, give me an investigation check.
Can I inspire you by saying, yeah, level up, bro?
Hey!
We are number 1.
The night of triple ones.
Oh.
Woof.
I see karma is a bitch. I am sorry for pushing you.
Unless
all
anyone else
right.
has another option, I can try.
No. So what we're gonna do here? You guys failed spectacularly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As your whole party has kind of gotten down, and the three of you are kind of bickering around trying to figure out what is happening with this door, the hatch behind you slams shut. You are now trapped in this 15 by 15 room. It is pitch black. The door ahead of you has no knob or locking mechanism. You have found nothing, and the hatch behind you slams shut. At this
all
point
going
in time,
very well. Great job.
you hear a
Kevin.
voice from beyond the door say, "Y'all really fucked up."
Yeah.
And from around the room in these lower grates, this noxious green-black fume begins to pour into the room, and I need everyone to make Constitution saving throws.
I immediately pull out my torch.
Okay. You can now see as the green fume washes over the room.
Con saves? No, that's not gonna go great.
What else do we have?
Oh
Wow!
my god!
What do we add to it?
Your con save, so go to the very
Thank
top.
God.
0.
Thank
No, you
God.
had,
Oh, fuck.
you had +5. Mine's not good. No. Oh, man. So this is the end of the Wildcards, eh? Defeated.
I have an idea.
This is how it goes down.
I have an idea.
No, you definitely failed with a 1. Allie, what'd you roll?
23.
Succeed. Hondo, sorry, you take 19 points of poison damage.
Wait, aren't I poison and resistant? Or have
Resistant to acid, I believe. If you have poison resistance, it'll be on your character sheet somewhere. Let me know. But regardless, for the time being, I'm going to say you take 19 points of poison damage, and you are considered poisoned. Allie, you're resistant to poison as a dwarf. So you only take 9 for succeeding, and then half of that, so you take 4 points of poison damage and are not poisoned. Valentine?
7.
You take 19 and are poisoned. Lavender?
12.
19 and are poisoned. And Mary?
20.
You succeed. You take 9 and are not poisoned.
And then you put in up here.
And the cloud remains.
Usually you can edit
I
it.
cast Gust of Wind.
Okay. Hondo, choking on this noxious fume, you cast Gust of Wind. In which direction? What are you? How are you trying to push it?
Go to help.
To the source, or to the where it came from, the open door.
As you cast Gust of Wind, you're in a small contained space. You disperse it with your Gust of Wind, and you basically push it back, and it kind of pushes against the sides of the room, but it begins to kind of come back up and around and seep back through. You have dispersed it, so I'll give everyone else advantage on the next check. But is there anything else anyone wants to try in one round before you have to do this again?
Lana, just take down one of the doors we came in. Let's get this shit out of here.
Okay, I'm gonna try.
You take that. Are you going to try and hit the door you're trying to go through, or the trap door?
I would have pointed to the trap door because that's fresh air.
Yeah.
To try to push this thing out that way.
Okay.
Make an attack.
Uh,
Lavender and Mary. 18 definitely hits. Roll damage.
Okay.
I'll
What am I doing?
Is there anything you want to try and do? Something that you could do.
Turn to Lav.
Try and figure out what to do.
I'll turn to Lav and be like, "You said you're good with magic. Hopefully you're just as good as I am." And then I'll run and I'll grab Brawley, and then I will Dimension Door us. I'll throw the Dimension Door like in front of her when she was trying to hit that door, and I'll push us upstairs like above the trap door.
Okay. I'm gonna say you get like half your strike off. So what was your total damage, Allie?
18.
So I'm gonna say you deal 9 points of damage as half of that hits the door, and then the rest of your swing hits nothing as you and Valentine arrive on the outside of the trap door. Valentine and Allie.
You can ask Kyle. Yep.
Question.
As you guys are as you guys are standing outside this trap door now, you're breathing in fresh air, and you are at dagger and crossbow point of 4 of these black cloaked and armored dwarven figures.
Yeah,
We'll get to you in a
brushing off my shoulder as I face them.
Yeah, just clearing your mouth from all the poison. Mary, is there anything you want to do, or
You can take.
Something.
Can I try to pick that lock again that didn't work last time?
you can try and make an investigation check. You're not poisoned, so yeah, you can try and make an investigation check. It's not a lockpick; it's an investigation check.
Sure. 18.
There is indeed no lock or door mechanism on, or handle mechanism on the door. I
meant the one that Hondo tried to pick earlier.
Yep, still talking
Gotcha.
about it. There is no lock mechanism or anything on this door. You gather there is something within the room that will unlock the door, a lever, a switch. And you begin to start your search for that as anyone who's still within the room below, Lavender, Hondo, and Mary, I need you to make Constitution saving throws again.
And I'll call that information out to Hondo. There's a lever or something in here. We gotta fucking find it.
I have an idea.
Yeah?
I have Twin Spell and Dimension Door.
Oh.
Let's get these people out of here.
Okay. You're good, Kev, as Lavender casts Dimension Door, putting a hand to both Mary and you, and all 5 of you now find yourselves outside, where suddenly 4 dwarves who were just pointing at 2 are now suddenly trying to spin and point at all of you. That's true. Thank you, Leah.
You got mad you forgot it last time. So.
Yeah, I forget
okay.
what class you are because you're new. Give me a D20 check.
Get in that one. Get in that one. Oh, damn.
No, you're fine. Okay, so mark up the spell.
What does your magic look like when you do it?
my magic is like flaming crystals. I have this crystal that's like a tattoo on me that starts to like burn really brightly. So I like touch you guys and I'm like, it's time for some magic. And then I look at you both and I say, I'll work on that later. And then my chest just starts to like really, really glow. But I'm very like, oh shit, no, don't show them that.
Okay.
Oh, that's
You
so cool.
trying to conceal it, you cast through the dimension door, and you all arrive outside at crossbow point. The figures, I'm going to roll to see whether they just try to attack or are smart enough not to. Two of them fire at one at Valentine, one at Allie, as you guys had arrived first, unexpectedly. So they are going to make attacks. Against Valentine,
I'm gonna use shield. Just because I want to show off to these guys.
it's a 24.
I called it, so I'm cool calling it just to try and like.
Okay. I don't know if that still hits through your shield or not.
No, it does still hit.
Okay.
Plus 5.
It's not good.
Yeah.
Okay. And Allie against you is an 18 to hit.
That hits, yeah.
Okay. So Valentine, you're going to take 8 points of piercing damage. Allie, you take 7 points of piercing damage.
You say 8, sorry?
Yep.
I'm unconscious.
They were sneak attack, actually. They didn't.
Ooh.
You didn't know they were there. Oh, you knew they were there. Yeah. They weren't powerful blows, just hand crossbows. And as you both get pierced, one of them managing to pierce through your shield spell. One of the ones in the back, as the other three of you arrive, puts a hand out to stop the others from shooting, but now levels a crossbow at Lavender, as another one points at Lavender and Mary and Hondo. And he just says, "Hold your fire. Who the fuck are you all?"
I will take out the fucking bolt from my chest, throw it down. We're the Wildcards, and we just wanted to talk.
I don't know.
Daggers, right?
Is that the whole thing? Is that it?
Sorry, what did you say, Kyle?
I said he was in the process of like processing and trying to like look around all of you. He says, "I don't know what the fucking wild cards are supposed to mean. You guys have been pretty fucking wild by coming here without announcing yourselves. That's for sure.
That's the name. That's the name.
It's not a good one."
Listen,
You
no
what?
offense, the Daggers for a fucking thieves guild? Let's not talk about names, okay, guys?
I
It's
didn't
a
come
little
up with
bit on the nose.
I didn't come up with it.
Hey, that's fair, that's fair.
To
Listen,
be fair, Wildcards is much
As
better
hold
than
on. There's a lot going on here. As not Valentine, as Lavender, you don't look like yourself. You look like Murph.
true.
As
Alright.
you look like Murph, they kind of have a wave of like recognition and say, "You rat fuck! Take him out!" And they start firing at you. Yeah. You made a bad
Kill all these
choice.
guys, but you know
You made
what?
a bad
Let's fucking
choice.
kill
I throw a
them.
dagger.
Hold on. Only two of them fire. Does a 16 and a 17 hit.
For who?
Lavender.
Oh yeah, both hit.
Just so you know, I only have 26 health.
You're gonna take
Death.
15 points of damage.
She's totally fine. She's totally fine.
Perfect. I'm at 11 now.
And then, as
Okay.
both bolts hit, the guy who spoke said, "Wait, we need him alive," and moves in to try and grapple you away from the rest of you.
I'll step
In
front of her.
Dwarfish, I say to them, I wasn't rathing you out. I caught these guys downstairs and I dimension doored them up here to you, you idiots. Do you want my money or not?
Make a deception check with disadvantage. Is that a 1?
I love this game so much.
Actually, that plays out really well because as you're pierced with bolts, trying to do a voice that's not his at all, in a language he doesn't speak as a halfling. They all
dwarf?
are
The halfling.
No, he's a halfling. So they're all very confused, but they begin to just grab Lavender and then are very like, wait, what the fuck is going on? Like, they're all very confused. And the guy who started talking before is like, all right, hold on. This is getting out of hand. And he puts his hands up and says, ceasefire. We promise to cease fire as long as you fucks explain what the fuck is going on and why you're with this rat piece of shit.
First of all, that's not the rat piece of shit you think it is, which I'm pretty sure you can tell already, considering she's skin and bones compared to what that man was.
Nope. She shape changed.
Oh, that completely changes.
It's like a polymorph.
Oh, I didn't know that.
She takes a full form over.
Wait, so is she still Lavender now, or is she?
Unless you've changed back. She looks like the halfling, the scruffy halfling, and like has taken the full form.
Do you still want to be him, or do you want to change back? It's up to you.
I so badly just want to go invisible.
You could.
They have their hands up, but they're saying.
Yeah, before we talk, I was going to put a hand on Murph and just cast a level 4 Cure Wounds.
Oh my god.
Hold on. Before you get the cast off, because they're being super cautious as you go, did you say anything? You said you were saying before, I couldn't tell if it was Scott or Valentine.
What was I saying?
When you were saying like before this happens and then you casted it.
Okay, yeah, I can talk about it. If you're fine with me saying, I'm going to move, I'm going to be like, listen, you guys are very rude and hurt my friend. I'm just going to heal a bit, and then we can have a nice conversation unless you want to shoot us some more.
Make a persuasion check. You can cast a spell, but make a persuasion check because it may result in you getting shot now.
But do I want him to be my friend? I just lied.
15. Look what I roll. It's just not a good night on this
This is what happens when you get 3 natural 20s.
I know.
Yeah,
it's
and
turning
then
hard
brag
now.
about it.
It's turning hard now.
He says he's trying to like piece together what to do. You get the cast off, so roll your cast. Roll your spell.
8.
10.
So 18 plus 5 is 23. So you get 23 health back.
Oh.
Yep.
Thank God.
Let me just mark that down.
The guy who's speaking says to the 2 dwarves who have Lavender held, says, put him in chains for 1 moment. We're going to talk this out.
Let's be cool here. Guys,
We're going
be
to talk
cool.
this out.
Be cool.
This is who I think this is, but I need to be sure.
This isn't who you think it is.
Well, it looks
Lav,
like the guy I think it is.
And talks in a fucking weird accent. Lav, maybe drop this shit so they can see.
Who's
She
Lav?
goes like this. She turns back into Lavender, and she's like, guys, come on.
The 2 dwarves who were holding you instantly kind of back up and just like, oh shit. And the first guy who was talking says, okay, all right, this makes more sense. Now, I need you to explain in very quick, very simple terms what the fuck you were doing, or we will start shooting again.
Great, no problem. You shoot one more time, it's going to go very badly for everyone, so let's just not do that.
Everyone cocks their crossbows and points at you.
I tap Heartbreaker. First things first. We wanted to meet you guys to discuss working together. Number 2, we could be common allies here because we all fucking hate the Zentarum and their pieces of shit. We jiving so far?
Make a persuasion check.
I don't like this dice tonight. Actually, you did 3 20s. You know what? It's turning around. 19. There we go. So 19 plus 13 is fucking a lot.
At the talk of terms and things like that, the wariness starts to fade. The crossbows stay up, just because this is still weird. But he's listening.
We wanted to have a conversation. We're new to town. Yeah, we're bumbling and dumb as shit, but we're also tough and looking for work. We hate the Zentarum. Look, I don't want to play my cards right away, but there's rumblings they might be trying to do something in this city, and we thought that might interest you, Daggers.
Make another persuasion check.
15 plus 13.
Plus 13?
Yeah.
My
The
highest
guy out-
stat's like a plus 9.
Bards,
pretty
baby.
The guy out front puts his crossbow down and gestures to the other guys to lower their crossbows. And they start lowering all these hand crossbows and light crossbows. And they begin to say, like, all right, I think we can talk terms here. Well, you got your fucking meeting, that's for sure.
Let's start with names.
Right.
Who are we speaking with?
You can't come into this business asking about names. This is your first fucking day.
You don't have to give me a real fucking name.
I'm gonna
Just
call
what do
you,
I call you?
Shoestring.
I'll take it. I'm not gonna give you my real name, Shoestring.
Forksy, don't give me a real name. This isn't my first goddamn time here.
Well, you're asking for names. It sounds like your first fucking time. You wandered into our place and just started setting off traps. Obviously
Don't
not
be
too
rude to
great.
Shoestring. Don't be rude to Shoestring. This is his house. Making the rules. We're gonna
That's
play
right.
nice.
Is it his house?
Yeah.
Can I do an insight check? Does he look like he's like super in charge, or he's just like trying to look like he's in charge?
Make an insight check.
While she's
Night-
doing that, Lavender looks around at all the holes in the wall. She looks at him and she goes, "It's a nice place."
19.
Uh, he doesn't look like he is in charge of everything, but he's in charge of this group right now.
Gotcha.
He's trying to showboat, but he's also very out of his element. He's not very good at it. He's trying to make this work. He says, "Look, if you are looking to make a deal and looking to work with us,
Yeah,
we got some common enemies.
great.
I can see that you are talented in some ways, bumbling in
others.
others.
Yeah, totally.
Dumb works, that's fine. As long as you get the job done and you don't sell us out."
Not like that fucking Murph guy, am I right?
Exactly. And that's where I'm going to talk about. You want a proper meeting,
Yep.
we'll give it to you if you can bring him to us.
This is what I like to fucking hear. Something fun.
You bring him in,
Yeah.
take it as a sign of faith.
Yeah, sure.
We'll take back the crossbow bolts we put in you.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
It happens.
We'll let you in next time as long as you got him prisoner.
Sure. We
I
know.
want him alive. We need to talk to him.
I just look at Hondo and say alive. Okay.
And he says, I'll get you a meeting with the boss.
All right. Last time you saw him?
Murph?
Yeah. Like you seen him tonight? Eyes on him tonight, or still looking?
We ain't seen him since he stole shit from us the other night.
We saw him at the Roundhouse yesterday, so I think we got
Yeah.
a good lead on him.
Can you tell us anything that he likes?
Things that he likes. Well, I don't know. He's a big drinker.
Vices are always a good start.
He's a big drinker, like I say. He has a way with the ladies, whether they're paid or not, you know.
I like a Hondo.
Sounds a lot like somebody we know.
Am I right?
How
I like
dare
her.
you?
You say,
About Brawley. Settle down.
you say Zentarum. I think they got to him. I think they made him turn on us. He took some stuff from us that was meant for someone else, and that ain't right. He turned traitor. He's got to answer for it.
What did they take? Maybe we could get that back for you too. Just curious.
You bring that back, you'll be in much better position. I think it'll be obvious when you find it, but can't tell if Allie's still here.
I think she's just video camming off for a sec.
It'll be obvious. Okay.
All right,
Says
we'll go
look.
look for him. We'll try and bring him back as quick as we can.
Yeah, that'd be the best. You bring him back, you get your meeting, you bring the stuff with him. We could use that, but If the Zens got to him, he's probably sold it already.
You want us to bring him back right here to this spot?
Yeah, you bring him back here. Knock this time.
On which door? we had trouble with both.
You knock on the interior door, we'll let you in. If you can get actually through the door, it'd be more impressive, but apparently you can't. So just knock.
We'll try again. We'll probably trigger the gas. We'll do this whole charade again, and then.
Hey, you want to get filled with holes? That's fine.
Yeah. All right. Well, it was a pleasure meeting you, Shoestring. Good talk, and we'll see you soon.
Sounds
the whole
good.
Conversation, Mary's just like trying really hard to not roll eyes and just be like, these guys are so fucking amateur. It's hurting her inside.
And I will just awkwardly try and nudge between the two guys. Like, oh, sorry, could I just squeeze? I'm just going to poke right through here. Excuse me.
They do kind of muscle back at you and just kind of throw a shoulder.
Oh, that's okay. I'm just going to squeeze. I'm going to work that. Thank you. All right. How far are we from the Pearl?
You guys are leveled down and pretty far off to like the north edge of the city.
I was thinking of trying to radio or use our earring on Gord and ask if he could check downstairs. But if he's out of earshot,
that would probably be too far.
Shit. Well, maybe the closer we get, we could try to ear him and see if we get lucky and he's in that bar. I guess he's probably in seedier spots though.
Well, I mean, if he likes drinking, it's easier to ask around for the sketchiest bar than it is to ask around for Daggers. I think we could figure that out.
Let's start bar.
Well, as we're leaving, actually, I'll kind of call back. Is there a bar you frequent? I feel he won't be there. That's something we can at least avoid.
That's a good point.
Oh, back to Shoestring?
Yeah.
He says, trying to find my list of...
Unless he's not intelligent enough to figure that part out.
He says, if that fucking idiot's still at bars today, he wouldn't be alive. We wouldn't be looking for him. We would have already had him.
Oh, so
he's in hiding.
Okay. All good. We know he met with someone at the Roundhouse yesterday, a dwarven female, right? Why don't we shake her down if we can find her again?
Oh, I have another idea too.
What's your idea?
We have a new toy that lets us look at somebody.
The scry toy. We'd have to get that for an hour, but that's a good idea.
I mean, it'll save potentially an hour.
Okay. Let me look up this toy.
Let's we'll leave their vicinity, unless anyone else has any questions.
Okay.
Knew that thing would come in handy.
I'll help mend your suit for you.
You've got me right there. Right there. You're riddled with holes too. You should mend yourself.
How dare you? That's so rude.
They got you good. No, I mean bolts and stuff. I'm gonna unattune from my cloak because I just used it, and if we're formulating a plan for an hour, I'll attune to this scrying thing.
Okay. So you guys like hole up in one of these like random open shitty houses?
We could grab dinner. Literally grab dinner.
Yeah, let's like find the sketchiest bar on our way back that's closest to this Daggers place, and then I'm like, we can eavesdrop while Val does that.
Okay. Make an investigation check.
Yeah.
What was that?
Someone make an investigation check to just try to find a bar.
What was it that you said, Scott?
I was worried at first about pulling out an expensive crystal ball in a sketchy part of town, but we're pretty tough.
I mean, also we can find like a corner booth.
Yeah.
And hide you while you're doing that, or you can go off to, I don't know, the bathroom for an hour. pretend to go off to the bathroom.
Hang out in the bathroom stall.
It's either the sexy booth or the bathroom.
Staring at a crystal ball.
I'll keep an eye out for. That's not excellent.
You're just trying to find a bar. It's not high DC.
8 plus 17.
That's great. What are you on about?
I rolled an 8.
You guys make your way back to the area where the roundhouse is, and it takes you about 25 minutes, half hour to make your way back to this side of town. And you don't go into the roundhouse, but you make your way a little further past into like another seedy kind of area, and you find a place called Rusty's.
Sounds about right.
It looks like the clientele in there is similar to the guys you were just kind of dealing with. It's very low lit as you enter. A lot of small like alcoves carved into the natural stone. A good place for doing shady deals.
Cool.
But you can get drinks. You can get some okay food for about $1 a piece, so 5 gold all around. You can get fed, and if you want to get drinks, it might be a little bit more. But for food, 5 gold, and you are in a place that you could spend an hour to attune to some stuff.
Okay. I'm going to, if you're gonna attune to shit,
Yep.
I will I'll go order the food at the bar away from where the group is, and then just wait for it there and try to eavesdrop, see if I'm hearing anything, just general chatter.
You could try and convince someone too, because you're good at talking to people.
Mm-hmm.
While I attune, I'm gonna go pee.
Okay. So while he does that, sorry, I missed what you guys were. I was rolling other stuff. What's the plan? What are you guys doing? What are you guys up to?
I'll go to the bar and order the food, and then wait for it at the bar. So I have an excuse just to stand around and eavesdrop here and there.
Sure, make an insight check.
Ooh, that's my lowest. So
Still comes up to a 16.
Well, yeah, it's a 17.
As you are sitting there, and it takes a bit of time, it takes 5-10 minutes for the stuff to get amassed, and you're kind of just waiting there, and you get a drink. The clientele aren't very chatty. Everyone's kind of just into their drinks, kind of thinking and stewing and thinking about the world and how shitty their lives are. But you catch a couple of guys who are kind of idly chatting at the far end of the bar, and they are talking in circles a bit, and talking in a language that is common technically, but your ears catch a bit of thieves' cant being spoken between these two. And it's hard to make out exactly what it is they're saying, but you get the gist that they are also kind of looking for this figure.
Do they look like? Sorry, do they look like they're dressed similarly to the Dagger? Can I try to tell if they're with that group, or do they have similar weapons or similar quality of things that they had?
I mean, similar in quality, that it's kind of shitty and makeshift armor somewhat, and simple weaponry and stuff like that. In terms of looking there's no uniform, it's just kind of
okay.
Generic shitty leathers and stuff.
And you said they're dwarves?
Yep, both are.
I'll once I get the food, I'll come back to the table and kind of nod over to the pair and say they're looking for Murph too.
Were you gonna do something?
Yeah, I leave the table and I go up to the bar and I start talking to the bartender, and I use friends.
Okay.
And I'm oh hey, so good to see you again. It's been so long since I have seen you. Let's catch up. What's new? Do you know anybody else here? I don't know anybody else here.
He says, nothing's new. I mean, it's same people I see all the time.
What about those guys down there?
I mean, those guys look familiar anyways. Everybody kind of looks familiar around here, except you. You look different. You look interesting, but I know you. I've known you my whole life. It's weird.
I know. Thank you. Yes, I'm doing something different with my hair. So I wanted to know a couple of things. So, if I was going to make friends with other people in this bar, what do they really like to talk about? What is everybody saying? What's the hot gossip?
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
Okay.
You can roll it twice. That's what advantage is.
Okay.
So you take whatever the higher one is. So 15 plus, what was it? Persuasion?
He says, well, I mean, everyone just kind of talks about work and, the mines, what different business they got up to, some of the deals that were made at the Roundhouse, just kind of generic stuff. Nothing your fancy types would talk about. But those two, he kind of looks around real shifty, but it's like just between you and me. Those two guys work for the Daggers. They're kind of sketchy. They're a little. I wouldn't want to be caught in an alley with them, if you know what I'm saying.
I totally know what you're saying. I'm actually looking for one of my friends. He's part of the Daggers. I haven't seen him in so long. His hair's probably so long. His name is Murph. Have you heard of him? He really frequents the bars. I heard he's a good tipper, too. Deep pockets.
When you say Murph, he says, oh, hi, Murph. Yeah, he's a halfling fella. Yeah, he comes in a lot. Not actually a good tipper. That's not true. He's a cheap.
No, that doesn't surprise me.
No, he's a cheap fuck, but he drinks a lot, so it kind of balances out. But he lives. I think he lives around here. At least he must. He's here every night almost. I haven't seen him tonight though.
You haven't seen him tonight. Okay, but lately you have seen him around.
He was here last night. Here the night before, and the night before last.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Okay, gotta go.
As the minute's running out.
Yeah, exactly. Quickly scurry back. I'm just focusing on this crystal ball. Once that's ready to rock, I'm gonna try and scry.
It's gonna be a bit, like it's an hour, so like you guys get through your meal, and if there's anything else you want to do over the hour, let me know now. But Val, you're kind of out for this time while you're learning the ins and outs of this new item. What did you say you're dropping in place of it?
So I used the cloak to teleport us.
Right.
So I'll just put that in my bag of holding and I'll take this.
Cool. Is there anything you guys want to do over the next hour as you guys are eating and drinking as Valentine does this? Or are we good to just move on to an hour from now?
Sick.
Cool. An hour later, you are fed. You are had a few drinks, and the crystal ball is in your possession and in your attunement. What are you doing?
Okay, I think I got it. You guys want me to do it here? You can cover me?
It might be better to not do it in a bar with lots of eyes. We don't know what's exactly going to happen. We've never used this before.
Yeah, we got like minutes to go until this fucker thinks that I'm not his friend anymore.
Actually, he does not think you're his friend anymore. It lasts a minute, so he probably hates you now.
Oh.
Okay.
Nothing untoward came of it.
If you tip him well, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
He didn't actively go and do anything. And over the hour, no one has come to bother you. The bar has kind of thinned out. There's a couple of people, not too many people. The Daggers guys have left since the hour has passed. But you don't find, you guys are like the majority of the bar right now is you guys.
I say we do it here. We're safe here.
Yeah, we can. Are we in were we able to find a corner booth or somewhere kind of out of sight?
A lot of the tables around the outskirts are kind of carved into these alcoves that are built into the wall.
I'll do that super shitty, very obvious thing where you put an elbow up on the table, and Nezalam do the same thing, and just try to take up as much visual space as possible.
Okay.
And I cast scry through the crystal ball,
focusing on
of our friend Murph.
Okay. So let me look up the spell, because there are some caveats.
Yeah.
He has to fail a save, I think.
Yeah, so the scrying, the crystal ball has a set DC. It's not your DC.
Yes, it's, you said it, but this one says 17 for crystal ball.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then it says knowledge save modifier, second hand +5, first hand +0. You've met the target, or second hands you've heard the target. Familiar is you know the target well, it's a -5. Yeah.
So you guys have heard of the target, but you've also partially met the target. I would say you've had it's you specifically, right? So
Yep.
You've had an encounter from afar essentially with this guy. So
two technically, because he saw him at the bar, and then we saw him the next morning.
He even
yeah,
shot past me and said, "Fuck you."
You didn't have like a meaningful encounter to like recall a whole lot.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a first hand, not a second hand. So a first hand. So straight roll.
Sweet.
With no modifier, and you have no connection in terms of likeness, possession, or body part, which is a weird modifier. So straight roll. Yeah, that's a 4. So it's
5, baby.
And I'm also going to roll something else.
You can see and hear a particular creature you choose that is on the same plane of existence.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Well.
There was a 50-50 chance of something.
Oh, cool. Scary. Wait, what? Scary. Cool. Is this a cursed crystal ball? I hope the fuck not.
Maybe.
Oh.
No. So, well. As you focus into the crystal ball and you cast Scry for the first time, you are focused on this whole time you've been attuning to it. The interior of this crystal ball has just been clear. It's just a ball. It was nothing overly special. And over the hour, you kind of had your doubts of like, maybe we just got fucked. Like, is this just a fucking ball? At the time of attunement, you felt the connection. You realized, okay, this is real. As you cast the spell, this simple cloud of smoke begins to kind of fill the interior of the ball until the entire interior is a swirling crowd of like silver cloud material, almost like mercury in a cloud form. And as you focus into it and you cast the spell, you see through the ball this like winding path of darkened streets, similar to the ones you've been traversing on this lower level of Haverfeld, Hammerstock. And in a moment, where you've been looking down into this thing and you begin to see it take shape, your entire vision is taken by the spell, and you are traveling through these streets. And ahead of you, you see this small figure in a black cloak, hood up, making his way through the streets. And you see him duck into a side street, into a kind of couple of steps down, and you follow him down a couple of steps. He turns a couple of steps, turns a couple of steps more, into this kind of like spiral downward step. At which point he reaches a door, looks around, reaches up into like the shadows, and kind of flicks a thing in the shadow, and opens the door and enters. The vision kind of obscures once more. And you see the interior of this simple bedroom. It looks, let me get it over here. It looks, like I say, very simple. It's just like rough hewn walls of stone. There's a simple like candelabra kind of lighting the space. The floor is just like makeshift boards laid down on top of stone. There's a small staircase that leads down into this room, and there's a small alcove where a bed has been kind of carved, and atop this like little alcove carved into the wall in this slab of stone, you see some like haphazard cushions and blankets, and atop it you see this halfling, now shirtless and laying in bed in what looks to be asleep, but his eyes are kind of flickering, and his skin looks ashy. His skin around his face looks sallow and sunken. The eyes around there, like you can see the outline of the skull, and like the bone under his eyes, and his cheekbones are very evident. His lips look almost blue. And you can see, as you're watching for this 10 minutes, this kind of essence kind of drifting out of his mouth and out of his eyes and out of his ears, and disappear into this kind of cloud above him. And there's this kind of grouping cloud that is kind of just floating above him, of this gray, white, wispy energy. And slowly his body begins to continue to diminish as you watch for 10 minutes. He doesn't move. He's just laying there, almost with a smile on his face. but his body is slowly withering away in front of him.
Oh my god, Jesus.
And then you return to the bar.
Gotta get him alive.
You return to the bar.
Holy shit, we gotta find this guy quick. I'll just relay quickly everything you told me.
Okay, so did the area look lived in? Does it look like it's his home?
There was like a space to rest. Okay, he went down a couple stairs. There's like a winding stairs, and then there was this like this door he came to, and there's a switch. Yeah, I guess there's nothing else I picked up on, like in terms of like landmarks or anything like that.
The most you could have done is in the initial walk down the street, you can kind of visualize the street. There wasn't anything necessarily that would indicate like where
a storefront
it was.
name or anything like that.
You could try and make a straight intelligence check to see if you can have you're so in a scry you're so focused on the person. Make an intelligence check to see if you could have broken away in the magic to spy something.
It's not bad. 16. Sorry, 17.
Perfect. DC of 15. Through the scry, as Mary kind of makes this note, and as you're trying to think and you're squinting and trying to just really focus back to the beginning of the vision, you actually can see the vision again in your head, and you watch as this figure is walking down and trying to keep to the shadows, looks up, and beyond him you can just see the corner where the roundhouse is. You recognize the exterior of the roundhouse.
I got it. I know where his street is. Let's fucking go. I'll put the crystal ball away and rush out.
Okay. You rush in almost the inverse direction of where the vision was, and you begin tearing through the street and turning a corner down the corner he took, and quickly make a perception check, Scott. Or this is investigation, sorry.
15.
Okay.
What's your health at?
34.
I will cast a level 2 Cure Wounds while we run on Lav.
Okay. I need 2 seconds here.
So. Oh, that's great. 8 and 6 is 14.
Mm-hmm.
Plus 5 is 19.
Mm.
So 19 plus whatever you were at, 34?
Yeah, but can I only go up to that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's this weird essence floating above him. I don't know if he's like a vampire or some sort of like something's possessed him. Like he was starting to like wither away and die.
Haven't we seen that before? Didn't that kind of happen in the Tomb of Carval?
To who?
I don't remember. One of us? Like something about taking essence. That sounds familiar.
I don't know if something's possessed him and he was already dead, and it's like using his like fucking corpse as like a puppet.
You had that happen to you in the well, where that like necrotic energy would draw from you every time you went through the well. But as you make your way around the corner, you cure Lav a little bit, and you spot ahead the alcove down into his stairwell. It's a tight, small alcove, so you can only go in single file. Valentine at the lead. You begin to make your way down the steps, and you find the doorway that you recognize.
I'll just back up a step and just quickly turn and be like, "This is a smash and grab. Oh no, there's like a switch above the door. We try and open this. I want us to burst in, knock him the fuck out. I don't even know if he's gonna be there. He might be this like floating essence thing. I don't know what the fuck we're gonna do. But if he gets up, let's knock him out, and then let's bring him back to the shadows. Does that sound cool?"
Daggers? The Shadows was our old shitty name.
Sorry, you're right. The Daggers. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Hondo? I'll fucking do it. I don't trust Hondo. He's gonna kick the door. I'll go to the thing and try and feel.
Isn't that what you just said you wanted to do? Was to kick the door in?
The switch. I want to get the switch first, or else Hondo's fucking hit the trap door again. Just
knowing where to look, you don't need to make a check, as you know it's up in this top corner, and you kind of quickly feel around, and you do feel this kind of like little spinning like hatch, and it kind of, you spin it, and you can feel a click, and whatever was there is no longer there. You imagine some kind of trap. It's not your expertise. You imagine there was some kind of trap here that you just disabled.
Did it feel pretty instant from this point to him being in the room, or was there a moment's pause, like while he was going down a hallway or something?
So in terms of like my like narrative of it, I was like giving you a little narrative of where he was, and then the immediate moment of where he ended up. There was a separation.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. There was likely separation.
Okay, so he's not probably right behind this door. Let's be real quiet. So I'll try and quietly open it.
Okay. Make a stealth check, everyone.
Okay.
Oof, that's not good.
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
Amanda is gonna throw a fire.
Do you have another one?
Oh my
shit!
God.
Kevin! Oh
Don't
my
you have
god.
advantage on stealth checks?
Yeah, that's true.
Oh no, you have advantage on stealth.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I
Your
do.
boots. Your boots. Allie?
10.
Okay, Scott?
Oh
Not good, not good.
Oh my gosh.
I got 8 plus 7, and that's 15.
I got
Yeah.
9.
Okay, Mary?
13.
Wow, you guys suck.
Look.
In fairness, Valentine gave you guys the heads up to smash and grab. So smash was the operative word. And as Valentine begins to move in, all of you are just trying to rush in behind and try and rush in. And you just clatter into this room. I should pull it up. Immediately, you are kind of falling over yourselves over the first couple of steps into this open kind of room, where you can see there's like simple like boards above, just like as rafters, and you're just in like a carved like hobbit hole of simple stone. It's not a nice place. It's just a cavern that has some little like windows out into the like about 10 feet up, windows out into like the street beyond. There's a small fire that is kind of a fireplace that is illuminating a little bit of this room, but it seems like an outer room, like a living area. There's a shitty like broken couch and a couple of chairs, and like a small coffee table that has like a bunch of bottles that are empty and fallen over on top of it. Valentine out front, unless someone else moves in beyond him. Whoever's out front can make an investigation check.
Boom. 9 plus 6 is 15.
Okay. You look around quickly. You don't see any sign of him. You don't hear any sign of him or any other person inside. But you do see, as you enter into the room a little bit further, around into the left side of the room, there's another stairway that descends into darkness. That's the only other.
Take a heartbreaker, click it on, and then I will rush forward.
Okay. As you guys abandon stealth altogether and begin rushing into this room, tearing down the staircase, stumbling down. It's a very small staircase, so everyone but Allie has to duck and crouch and try and squeeze through this tiny little staircase. And you, Valentine, it's only about like 7 stairs as you come down and around, and you skid into this small room with this simple candlelight. And in a bed in an alcove around to the side, you see a near skeletal figure.
Oh, fuck.
Entirely drained of moisture, of life. It's as if the skin and muscle is just shrink wrapped to a skeleton of a halfling man.
Is there a fucking scary thing floating around?
Make a perception check.
Yeah, that's good. Fuck, that's really good. 17 plus 11. 28?
You just see like a thin trail begin to leave through the ceiling, and it just kind of
fuck,
and then it's gone.
I like try and grab it. That's too late.
Nothing.
I rushed over to Murph.
Okay.
He's fucking dead. He's real dead.
Without needing a medicine check. This is not a living individual.
Does he have like any rings on him? Any like Murph identifying objects?
No, he's actually like shirtless and like he's wearing pants like you can pat around, but there's nothing in them. And like not wearing shoes or boots. There's stuff in the room you could search around for if you wanted to try and make an investigation check, or if anyone did. But on the body itself, nothing.
Who's good at investigation?
Should we go check upstairs?
Yeah. Someone should check upstairs. Someone else can check around here.
I'll check around here.
Brawley with me, and we'll run upstairs.
Okay. Kev, give me an investigation for this room. And what are you guys doing upstairs?
I just want to see if we can catch that thing. Like if Scott mentioned that something just went through the ceiling.
Okay.
Sure.
Just to see if we can see anything coming through.
Okay, as you both make your way upstairs, make a perception check, both of you. And Kevin, what's your total investigation?
I think it's 16.
Okay. Let's see.
I'll turn to Lav and be like, I'm sorry, I know he was your friend.
Well, I know it's so sad. Is there anything you could give me to comfort me?
Give you? I don't know, I already gave you like 3 things.
I wasn't talking about material objects. God, I was just talking about comfort.
No, definitely not.
Okay. Hondo. Actually, no. Let's see. What'd you guys get for perception?
I got
18?
Nice.
Mary?
I got 15.
What did you say? You just like slammed the table.
No,
No, that was us. She said 50.
15.
Jeez.
Wait, start recording again, Leah? I think it just timed out.
Yeah, it says I'm still recording. I think it like automatically just restarts.
Okay.
As the two of you run upstairs and try and perceive around the space, you don't find any sign of whatever this kind of wispy thing Valentine was talking about. The only thing you find are signs of kind of a shitty life. Just a bunch of like dirty clothes and like a lot of empty bottles. Some half full bottles. There's a bottle that's full of like yellow something.
Is it apple juice?
Maybe.
Try it.
Downstairs, Hondo, as you begin rooting through this guy's stuff, you find a nice set of studded leather armor, a bunch of like simple daggers. You find a hand crossbow and about 20 scattered bolts of crossbow bolts. A bunch more full bottles of liquor. You find about 5 bottles, small bottles, like Mickey bottles of whiskey and of some clear spirit. And within, you find this halfling-sized leather like duster with a hood. Within a pocket, as you're kind of sifting through it, you find a vial of this clear liquid. But it's almost like a test tube vial, like a long test tube vial, with a stoppered thing on top. That's all you find.
I open it and smell it.
Oh, thank God. I will be like, please don't drink that. Please don't drink that. Don't drink that.
What do I want this check to be?
Investigation?
It might be something else. Give me 2 seconds. I just want to. I can never remember all the fucking skills.
Oh gosh.
It's always sometimes there's just a better skill that could be used for this.
Survival?
For the time being, make an investigation check for me while I think about it.
Don't die. 11?
Is that 11?
So
Okay, hang on.
Plus your investigation?
16.
Don't die from a vial, Hondo.
I've drank worse.
Don't
Actually,
drink
I
that.
should pull your character up. Hondo, the blue. Let's see. Okay, yeah, investigation. You said.
Yeah.
What was it?
16.
Okay. As you open the vial and you take a sniff, it immediately is just like pungent, and it's like strong and like almost like sulfuric, but it's clear. And as you kind of like just investigate and kind of just get an idea of what this stuff is, you just like you touch it a little bit, and it's sticky, like it's like viscous. And as you touch it, it kind of begins to burn your finger a bit, and you just start rubbing your finger off on your armor, on your clothes, and it doesn't cause any damage, but like it's a controlled sudden burn as you're holding this stuff, and you realize it's probably dangerous.
I think I have an idea of what I'd use it for.
Okay.
Why is he?
Arrow.
Or still upstairs?
You guys are still upstairs. Unfortunately, you find nothing beyond what we talked about earlier, so
Come back
you
down.
could make your way back.
Yeah.
My pocket, everything else.
Okay. Just you have
Not the
daggers and as a hand crossbow and bolts and
Booze.
a bunch of bottles of booze. They're like little Mickeys, but still booze. What are you guys saying?
What do you want to say?
I look at Hondo and I go, "Oh, Hondo, gross," because it smells like sulfur.
It's not me. It's the vial.
What vial? What is this? Is it magic?
I'll toss it to you.
Ooh, that does smell.
Okay, Mary. Yeah,
Wait,
Val.
who are you tossing it to?
Make a dexterity check, Scott.
Good.
Not great. Check or save?
Just a straight check.
8.
Oh!
Okay, let's do it. All right. Oh, fucking righty. Where did I write that down?
What?
Hang on. It's in
Oh
here
my-
somewhere.
This
I
could
think
be
I
an
know-
explosion or something.
I think I know what it is.
What's it called? Like nitrous oxide or that thing?
Nitroglycerin?
Yeah, that.
Yeah, everyone's gonna need to make a dexterity save.
Boy.
Let's start there, and I'll find the information in a
Oh my
second.
god, there's no one even evil in here. It's just no.
No, there is. There is
In
someone.
a very enclosed space.
Yes.
boy.
Good job, babe. Good job.
What do I add to
Is
this?
that 4? Oh,
Your deck save's really good though.
That's true. Okay. Okay, Alana.
13.
That's a fail. Lavender.
23.
That's a success. Valentine.
21.
That's also a success. Hondo.
13.
That's a fail. And Mary.
Also 21.
That's a success. So, Valentine, as you dive out trying to catch this vial, as it was headed towards Mary, and you think, this shouldn't be thrown around. Your instincts are correct. But as you reach out to grab it, you kind of knock it off its trajectory towards Mary, and it falls to the ground, basically in the middle of the room. As Mary and Allie just come down the stairs, a mini eruption just blows this tiny space to shit.
Did we just destroy all our evidence?
Yeah, we did. Totally. There's a lot of math right now. There's a lot of math.
I dodge it all.
This is so on brand for you, Hondo.
It's actually not that bad. I rolled not great.
Okay.
But if you failed, you take 32 points of force and fire damage.
Okay.
If you succeeded, you take 16.
So just 16. Okay.
The room, anything that was flammable is caught on fire and burning. So like the sheets, the pillows, the clothes, anything you're wearing that's not magical and is flammable is on fire. Your hair is singed. Everyone's hair is just kind of slightly burned. You've all, if you failed, lost your eyebrows.
Ooh.
It was a very condensed, controlled explosion. And I need to roll to see if the building falls.
Oh
Hondo,
boy.
put the fire out!
I have
on,
a
building.
wall of water.
Building my collapse on us.
Wait, this is
I
a
use
percentage.
wall of water.
Okay, hang on.
That's
You're
interesting.
not gonna. The building has to react first.
Maybe. But it was happening so quick. That's okay. I thought about trying to do it with Mage Hand too, but it was just
Mage Hand.
happening so quick.
Yeah.
Okay. The building does not fall.
Good news.
However, you see, like, it doesn't look good. Like, you guys are in the lower part of this, like, building structure. You can see huge cracks in the ceiling that reach all the way down to the stairwell that you guys came down on. The floor is like a concave hole in the stone. And you've put together that, yeah, this shit is explosive.
Is his body still there? Like the bones of him? Or is he
It's
just
like charred.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will just be stunned. Just shock. Like I'm on the floor with my arm still reached out. Just.
And this is someone's clubhouse, right?
This was just a dude's
man's
house.
home. This is a
I think
man's home.
I think we know what he stole from them.
Maybe this, but what about what he gave to Agatha, that old woman?
I mean, look how little this vial is. There definitely could have been more. Was.
All right, let's get the fuck out of here. I don't know how we're gonna explain this shit. Lav just revealed to me secretly she does have a forger's kit, so we could pretend we found something.
I start to gather some of the ashes so that I can lie about us cremating him by accident.
Okay. Actually,
Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, as you guys begin to, you collect what's left, collect yourselves, and rush back up out into the main street. You can see people are pouring out of other homes as smoke is kind of billowing out through this exterior, and people are starting to like question you. There's no guards, thankfully. You're in a shitty section of town, so no one's questioning from a legal standpoint, but they're questioning like what the fuck happened. They are taking note that it was you guys, yeah.
I turn to Hondo since we have no eyebrows, and I just go, "Hey, this could be a good look for us."
I should have discussed
I
with
need a
her.
makeover. I like your thinking.
In fairness, Hondo doesn't have eyebrows to begin with, so he's just scaled.
I'm like, let's go out of here. We're attracting a crowd. Let's get out of here.
Okay, where are you going?
Let's go back to the. Okay, let's post up in an alley nearby, and we can discuss what the hell we're gonna do. Let's get close to that hideout, and then let's talk about a plan. I still have a plan.
Okay.
We say we were attacked. This wasn't an explosion by us. We were attacked.
I mean, we can literally just tell the truth. What's wrong with the truth here? We found what he stole from you, and I think you know what could have happened next.
The Zentarum, they attacked us.
So we could kind of do more here. Lav has a forger's kit. We could say we found this like note from the Zentarum saying they want the goods or something like that. Forger
no, but,
kit.
okay, the thing is, we want to know why he stole this. Anything they can give us, if we give them a reason as to why he stole this, there stops any kind of investigation.
Well, they said they think he's a rat for the Zentarum, right? Kyle, is that what they said?
Oh, sorry. Yes, that is what they assume that as you guys suggested that the Zentarum had some activity in the city, the Shoestring, as you so named him, suggested that maybe that's what Murph turned to. Maybe they got to him, and that he turned to work for the Zentarum.
But not so much that they had they thought that's what was the case before we said
it. Didn't seem that way, given your insight and the way the conversation was going. They did not think that he had. Well, they weren't sure what had happened, but it was when you suggested that the Zentarum had had influence that they thought that maybe that's what happened.
We can
it was obviously something magical. I'm just concerned about if we go to them with a solution, we're not going to get any more. We need to work together to figure out what this is.
So we could forge a note that says, meet Sister Agatha at the cafe. And then that is true. That did happen.
Yeah.
We don't even have to sign it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Meet
okay with that.
contact Sister Agatha at the cafe.
And something like deliver package.
Deliver package to Sister Agatha. At the
And
cafe.
put the date on
Wait a
it.
second. Okay, let's go back. We remember Murph having a crate, and wasn't he being careful with it?
Yes.
He was like very conscious about it.
That's
Yeah.
what I mean.
Okay, so let's do that. We're at lab. We're thinking. I know you just took a tinkle in the alley.
Just popped a squat right there.
You could use your forgery kit to say meet contact Sister Agatha at that cafe they were at the other day, and then we could show that to them as proof that something's happening.
Okay.
So I'm gonna inspire her, and I'll be like, I'm sure you don't need this because you're so great, but if you need this for help when you're doing this forgery, you got it.
What do I have to roll?
Kyle, what does she have to roll for a forgery kit?
So this is going to be proficiency plus intelligence. So proficiency bonus, I think, is 4, plus your intelligence modifier, plus your d20.
So 8 plus your d20 plus my inspiration if you need it, which is an extra d10. Ready? 13 plus 4. Yeah, might as well roll it. That's 10.
Oh.
Yeah, it's great.
Okay, it was 0, so I was like, what?
So that's
23. 23 plus you?
Plus 8. 4 and 4.
Okay, so 31.
31. Pretty good. Pretty good.
That's a
weapon.
lot.
My mother taught me very good handwriting.
You said not to talk about your mom.
You've come across, like, this has been a lot of what you've done, is planting evidence and fucking up internal, like, scuffles between these different, like, regimes and different guilds. You've worked to fuck up the Zentarum stuff before. You know that there is a Zentarum, like, sigil. And with a 31, you recall it and imprint it perfectly in the corner of this letter, along with the message you're trying to get across, and using the language that they would use within like a half thieves' cant, just kind of like this roundabout language. But the sigil is the big thing, this kind of mark of the Zentarum.
If it'll help, I can help with translating any kind of thieves' cant, any of it into.
She's already rolled a 31. It's
Okay,
great.
cool.
She could.
Sorry, I was not at my station when the roll happened.
Okay, that's okay.
You've managed to put together a very convincing note, a very convincing piece of evidence that you guys are framing the Zentarum in this, in having got Murph to bring them to Sister Agatha this stuff.
Let's keep the ghost weird essence thing to ourselves. We don't have to mention. We could mention that he was dead when we got there, but his body has been obliterated because he was booby trapped. And when we tried to investigate him, he literally exploded. They must have left behind one of these nitroglycerin things.
We can say,
that's good.
well, I mean, if they already think we're kind of fuck ups, so maybe he suicide bombed himself with this nitroglycerin. We saw him hold it out. We saw him drop it.
But
And it was not our fault.
How did we get the note?
We could have found it in the upper stairs room.
Okay, let's get our story straight.
Is there a way that we could have said it was convincing that, like, if there was an upper window or something, and, like, we climbed in from the top or we climbed in from the roof and then found it in his attic, went downstairs, saw him, and then he
Let's
smoked
do that.
us?
Yeah.
We could have broken in, like, super good. Like, definitely didn't see us. We're actually really great at breaking into places.
Lab and I
We
went
found this note. He came back from the bathroom.
Yeah.
Dropped the nitroglycerin.
Which was a corner in his room.
Yeah.
Lab and I went invisible. We found the note. Then he showed up. There was a scuffle. He suicide bombed himself with one of these things. It was crazy. You two lost eyebrows. We got out of there. No.
I mean, yeah, we look like something got blown up.
Great. We
He
got
did.
Actually, to be fair,
Zentarum.
I look perfectly normal because I'm still disguised. But
Oh, true.
I can
I
say I
think-
got attacked trying to get whatever from him, or trying to stop him from throwing the vial.
And Brawley punched Hondo in the face so he looks like he was part of the scuffle.
Yeah.
I got it.
you punch yourself in the face.
Hondo smashes his fist into his head.
Just as you guys are walking along the street, he just ducks into an alley and just goosh.
Breaks his own nose.
Okay,
work
so
our way back.
you guys it takes a bit of doing to get back to the area because you got to skirt all the way back around and head down towards, but you know where you're going. So it's another 20 minutes, maybe up to a half hour, making your way back as you kind of formulate this plan, steel yourselves again, and make your way to the exterior of the Daggers hideout. Making your way back inside. They have not locked the outer hatch this time, but you make your way beneath into the room where you were poisoned previously, and you're now there.
Hondo, maybe try this again, but this time with feeling. Unlock this door.
I'll help him. We'll look at it together.
All right.
Why don't both of you make checks?
I would say one of you can give the other advantage.
Hondo, roll with advantage.
Okay, 12. That's not bad. You can get a little higher. Okay, nope.
Take that 12.
12 plus your thieves thing? I don't know how that works.
I think it's 12.
Investigation.
Oh, that's 5, so 16.
Okay. So you manage to find. You notice again the door doesn't have locking mechanism or knob. However, on the wall near the entrance where you first came in, you can see there is this small, like simple brick kind of area that looks like a hidden kind of hatch, or not hatch, but like a hidden patch that you kind of slide aside, and you can see what looks like a thin slit in the wall, about the size of like a dagger. And you slip a dagger into the position, and it begins to kind of rotate. You can choose to rotate it left or right.
Left.
Turn to the left, and the door at the far end of the room kind of clicks open, and you can see it kind of swing into your room, and you begin to hear this sound kind of filter out from a room beyond this area. What do you guys do?
Of course, a key's a fucking dagger. When they go for a theme, they commit. All right. I'll lean in to the door that swung open.
Okay.
And fucking knock on it while it's open.
Okay. As you knock, you see a short hallway that is lit by torches, but that opens up into a larger space beyond. And you immediately see one of these kind of cloaked guys that you saw before, one of these dwarves, kind of peer around a corner and begin to start drawing a crossbow, but recognize you guys from before.
You said to knock and you said to get in. We didn't know which one to do, so we did both.
Yo, where's Shoestring?
1 sec. And he runs upstairs and starts shouting, "Hey, those fucks are here from earlier." And you begin to hear.
They give us nicknames.
Wildcards.
You guys begin to make your way in, and as you walk through this hallway, you can see there is a door directly ahead of you, but there's a curve to the right, and there's a stairway that leads up to this kind of open loft area that looks down onto this entryway. And as you curve around this corner, Shoestring is standing there, overlooking the balcony, and says, "Hey, you made it. Welcome to the Sheath. Come on in."
The sheath?
God
The
damn it,
Sheath.
the
Sick
Sheath.
name, bro.
And
Turned
you
it
guys
around. You
make
turned
your
it
way.
Super cool.
Begin making your way up the stairs and into their this kind of like sitting area where they've got like card games going. There's like about 8 or 9 of these guys, and they've got card games going on one table. 2 guys are just kind of drinking and sitting at a table. There's like a bar that's kind of like an open bar, with just all these like casks of ale and bottles and glasses and things that are out. And Shoestring stands at the top of the stairs as you guys begin to make your way up and says, "Well, it looks like you're one short."
Yeah, we found him. What's left of him?
He's dead then.
Yeah, but we got this.
All right,
I'll
commit.
Indicate it. Lav.
I pull out his ashes first.
Not,
Yeah.
not
Oh,
that. Not that.
not this?
No, not that.
Not
Yeah,
this?
yeah,
Okay.
The thing we found.
This.
He reaches out to take it from you.
Wait. Where's the big boss?
He says, I promised you a meeting with the big boss if you brought him in. You brought a piece of paper and some ashes. Let me take a look first.
All right.
He takes it from you, flips it open, and the guys sitting around the table stop kind of playing games, and they start kind of turning and watching, seeing if they need to jump into action. The guys who are drinking continue drinking, but it's a small space, and you don't feel threatened or overwhelmed, but they want to look like they want you to feel that.
I'm gonna have my hand on my little belt loop, just near Heartbreaker. Just a little pat.
He flips through the note, quickly reading, notes the Zentarum, says, I fucking knew it! Those fucking Zentarum. He looks to you and says, so, how did he die then?
We snuck in, invisible. We found that. And then he sprung out. The rest of them rushed in. We tried to get to him, take him in alive, like you said. And then he pulled out this vial.
And he just started yelling for the Zentarum.
He smashed it on the ground, and look at their goddamn eyebrows. Well, he's a fucking fish man, but... You'll probably hear about the scene later on.
Make a deception check with advantage.
You got this.
The natural 20 on the set.
Oh my god!
Damn, ones
You
and
either
20s.
roll there's two ways Scott rolls with Valentine's. You either roll very good or very bad.
Yeah.
That's kind of Valentine. There's no in
Four.
between.
First one was a 4, and then this one was a 20. So
Yeah. It's either all in or get the fuck out. Okay. He starts just kind of shaking his head. You can see he's angry, very visibly angry and frustrated. And he kind of hands the note to one of the guys. It just kind of just generally, not even to a direct one. He just kind of throws it over his shoulder. Says, "Take that to him." And one of the guys grabs it, and he kind of skirts past you and begins trying to go back down the way you came through the other door. He says, "Well, you proved you're worthwhile at least. You're capable, well, at least at finding shit and watching a guy die, but capable at least. You still want your meeting then?"
we think it would be advantageous to all sides, yeah.
Alright, given what you've brought here today, if there's Zentarum are fucking around in this city, we gotta put an end to that. Maybe it's worth you knowing what it was he had. And it sounds like you found out about it firsthand, but maybe about what it is.
We were assuming maybe that's what it was, but yeah. Could you tell us a little more, or do you want the big guy upstairs to...
I'll keep my mouth shut. I'll let him do the talking.
Appreciate that. You're a good guy.
I imagine you'll get your meeting in a second. But, you want a drink or something while you wait?
Yeah, you guys got coffee brewing, or...
Ale. Help yourself. And he points to the bar and then heads over to a table. A few minutes pass before the dwarf who left before with the note comes up and just says, "You'll see you around here. I'll lead you over there if you want."
All right, let's go.
He begins leading you through back to the door that you met at the front of the other door, down a small tunnel and into a small sitting area where you see this sitting at a table, this kind of round table, and it's a low-ceilinged room. It's a dwarf-sized room, so Allie, you're right at home. But the rest of you have to kind of squat a little bit. It's not super comfortable. And he sat at this room in this kind of sunken section, this large circular table. He sat kind of looking over the paper that you can see in his hand, a big mug of ale beside him, and he's got this big pipe in his other hand. And he's kind of sitting there, and he takes a couple of drags off this pipe. And you see this dwarf shaved sides of the head and this kind of slick back mop of blonde hair that kind of falls off in little strands. This real shitty beard. Just a real, like, the sides are real shitty, and he's got these braids that look ratty and gross that are coming down from the chin. Open sleeves to, like, relatively muscular arms. and a heavy breastplate over the front, as you can see him kind of sitting there. And he takes a big drag of this pipe, and this room is pretty smoky. There's a couple of fires in here, and he's blowing smoke around as well. As you guys make your way in, and the other dwarf kind of gestures to him, and you can also see there are a couple of other dwarves kind of standing around the exterior of the room, just watching over the encounter, as you would expect. But this guy at the table, without first looking up from the note, says to you guys, "So you brought some damning evidence to me here from what was a trusted ally today. I can't say this is good news, but I appreciate it nonetheless."
Happy to help. Unfortunately, bad news, but happy to have rooted it out for you.
"So to what do I owe this service?"
Well, we're the Wildcards, and we're always looking for work. We,
Sellswords, yeah?
I mean, we're a little higher class than that, but the term fits.
But regardless, you looking for a job or a reward?
I don't know. I think we're looking for shared communication. Job, potentially. The main thing is, what's going on around here? What the hell was that Murph holding?
What almost just got us killed?
Make a persuasion check, Valentine.
21?
That's
31?
31?
Jesus.
Welcome
He
to high
says,
level D&D.
Yeah. He says, "Take a seat. Let me explain some things. And well, I'll let you in on the ground floor of this, because you're already half involved. I'd rather have you on my side than if these fucking Zentarum are around in this city. I don't want you to get picked up by them. I can't have that. You guys are capable."
Yeah, we just blew up a ground floor, so that's right along this.
Don't blow this one up. He says, "This stuff we've been moving for the will breakers. We had a couple of clients looking for some new ways to clear some tunnels and deal with some people, in a fast fashion. It's as you've seen its power by the looks of it. It's fast, it's hot, it does the trick, it's powerful, it's fucking crazy, and it's dangerous to move. But we fund the Arcanists out in the outer city, and they've managed to come up with a way to craft this stuff. It takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of resources, but it pays fucking really good. We can sell it. We got enough clients looking for it. We'll make a pretty penny. It's something we need. But as soon as there's a new resource in town, you got competition. Based on what you're saying, it's the fucking Zentarum. We thought we'd run them out of the city long ago. But they're like cockroaches. You can never kill them all. They always come back. It doesn't surprise me. But nonetheless, getting to Murph does surprise me. That takes a lot. He was a loyal dagger. He was a good friend. It doesn't sit right.
Taking a step back, you said you moved that stuff for the Will Breakers? They're the ones creating this?
Aye. We've had a long partnership with them.
She's just thorough.
It's alright. I have a hard time believing that the Zentarum could just convince Murph to betray us like that. I'm not fully convinced that they're working alone or that they aren't doing something they've never done before. These aren't just your typical thugs that could convince him like that. You know, he could take torture. He doesn't have any fucking family to hold over. Somehow they got to him.
How smart was he?
Murph wasn't the sharpest arrow,
He drank a lot, that's what we heard.
He had his vices. We all drink, but he drank maybe more than the rest of us. He drank maybe more than he should have, and maybe he had some sensitive information, and he had that while he was drunk too. He was always trustworthy. It didn't matter how much he fucking drank. I don't think that matters.
How much do one of these vials cost? Just for interest's sake.
I don't want to say my prices, but we get a pretty penny for one of those. Typically, you sell in bulk.
We noticed, don't know if you heard this. We noticed Murph walking around. We barely clocked him. He was walking around with a box. What was that, this morning?
How much of this went missing?
Oh, it's funny.
About a crate's worth? Small crate.
Yeah. It was our latest shipment. We're a little behind on delivery. Admittedly, our latest client was not willing to pay up. So we were withholding it until we got payment. I had thought that maybe they had tried to weasel their way out of the deal. But apparently the Zentarum are in town, and that's more likely, I think.
Well, we've run into situations before where, especially when people aren't too intelligent, we've met people who were not of their own mind and were of someone else's. There's a good chance it could be something that he didn't want to do.
I hope so.
Why the hell would he meet with this Sister Agatha girl?
Who's this Sister Agatha?
You read
the letter.
You read the letter?
I don't know who that is, though.
Me neither.
I don't know. I mean, his sister is... I assume she's in disguise or something. You don't get any religious folk wanting to blow shit up. That doesn't make any sense. Though, come to think of it, you guys have been trustworthy so far. Our client, the first round, is this lady named Ingrid Blesser. She's the Blessers are a pretty well-known family. They work in the Soul Forge, up in the keep, and they're a religious family. They go back generations. I thought someone was using a fake name, but if there's a sister involved in some of this, then fuck, maybe they've turned another cheek or something.
How long ago was this first shipment?
Takes us about a couple of weeks to produce a new shipment, so it was about a month and a half ago.
All right, aside from all this stuff, anything else weird going on in the city? Strange murders, people missing, anything else like that could be hints about the Zentarum or someone else moving through the city?
Nothing we haven't done ourselves. Nothing that we've noticed. Anyways, we've honestly been pretty preoccupied with this. This was the first time we've really come out of the tunnels in quite some time.
The tunnels, eh? You got tunnels leading to the Will Breakers?
Aye.
You ever encounter any weird stuff in the tunnels?
Oh, aye, yeah, but they keep shit like that to keep people from wandering in. Safety measures,
Do the Willbreakers give you all of this product? You're moving it for them. Could they be selling anything on the side or storing for their own uses? How strong is this bond you have?
Make a persuasion check.
This is your shit, Mary.
Very persuasive. Ooh, actually, that was a really good roll. +1, I'm pretty sure. Yep, so it's an 18.
He looks you over and, given what you guys have already brought to them, kind of nods his head and says, I don't see them turning on us. We bankroll most of their activity. Without us, they don't have an outlet for their exploits. They want to make this stuff as much as we want to sell it. So I don't see them turning on us. Suppose if, the Zentarum got into them and gave them a better percentage than we're offering, it's possible, but they don't let near anybody in to meet with them.
Well, if you, we talked about work, you've seen some of what we're capable of. What if we look into this for you? Could you get us that meeting?
Why do you want to meet with them?
First thing you do when there's something like this, you already had someone who you thought you trusted. They went against you, not necessarily of their own volition. First thing you do is check everyone within. Start there. We'll look into this Sister Agatha thing as well. But I'm not saying we need to go there right away, but if our investigation, if you're willing to partner with us, leads us there, this is going to be something that's mutually beneficial, I believe. We want to get to the root of this. It almost fucking killed us, and I'd like it to not happen again. Just want to see if you'd be able to help us out there.
By the way, sorry, continue.
I can set a meet. They're not the most punctual group. You want to get into the chat with them and make sure that we don't have any fucking outside interests trying to meddle with our affairs. I can set a meet soon.
I'm not going to say we're going to start there, but it's good to know it's an option.
It's always good to check every lead. You're not wrong.
By the way, I'm Valentine.
I got that.
I didn't get your name, friend.
Name's Torque.
Torque Hardskull.
That's a name.
I was just wondering, if Murph was your number 2, and he's dead, who's your new number 2?
I haven't decided that yet. I'll have to look at these scrubs over here and see who feels like stepping up to the plate.
I recommend Shoestring. He's been helping
fucking
us a lot.
Shoestring.
That's his new name.
He looks over his shoulder and says, "Hey, we got a Shoestring in the group?"
You do.
Don't look any further. My name is Lavender.
You want to be this guy's number 2?
Do you have any more questions?
No, please. If you want to ask this guy some stuff.
I don't just take on, some random as my second in command. You've done some good work, but you gotta be here for a bit. Appreciate the offer.
I was not offering. Okay.
She's a little strange.
I
think she grows on you. Okay, well, yeah, that sounds like a good plan. Maybe we could talk to these will breakers, just make sure everything's copacetic there. Listen, we're staying at the Pearl. We think something weird's going on here. I'll put some cards on the table. We were at Rogue Point when shit went nuts there, and Zentarum fucked everything up.
Heard about that.
I don't want that shit to happen here. For businesses like yours to run, cities need to be working. For us to get work, cities need to be working. So, we're gonna stick around for a couple days, especially this Moonweaver Festival. We're feeling bad vibes that something might go down there, so if you catch wind of anything, we catch wind of anything. Let's keep a good dialogue open.
It's interesting you say the festival. My that first client I was telling you about, they needed it by then. I thought it was kind of peculiar.
Weird shit's going on. Don't like that.
Yeah. Actually, in all honesty, they wanted it as soon as possible. They wanted it before then. They paid a premium to get it done for this week. We're a little behind, but we're set to deliver to them in 2 days. We may need to call on you for some extra muscle.
Yeah, if you're gonna deliver or go talk to them, we'd be happy to help with that.
That's something I might reach out to you for. You're saying at the Pearl, I'll send word if we need you.
Sure. Yeah, that sounds
We'll
great.
be there.
Have you heard of any other mishaps like this in the city recently? Small explosions, anything that you weren't aware of in terms of clientele that could have been, if they placed a second order, either they don't have enough or something went wrong with the first.
Make a persuasion check.
So many, and I'm not good at this.
You crushed the last one.
There's a lot.
Oh, 16.
That's enough. There's a lot going on in this conversation, a lot of information. It's good.
Mary doesn't talk this much, guys.
He kind of leans in and says, as you said, cards on the table. We have had some incidents in our tunnels. There's a tunnel. There's the mines, the Greystone mines, over near us here. We kind of co-opt their tunnels every now and again to try and move things in and out of the city, and especially between here and the outer city. There's a tunnel that breaks off of their mines that leads us to the Willbreakers, and there's a couple of other old mine shafts that are, long underused, and they used to connect down through the entire mountain range, but they're long shut up. However, the last week or two, we've had some more activity, some talk of our patrols through there that have heard explosions and heard some movement. Anytime we investigate, it doesn't look like anything's there. It's been weird, though. You're looking for weird.
When you say you investigate, you look for maybe blown out caverns or tunnels, but everything's just the way it is. Yeah. I've sent some of the guys down there to take a look, and nothing seems amiss. So we kind of chalked it up to the Willbreakers testing shit, and it's not uncommon, admittedly. If you're making something new, you got to test it somewhere. It makes sense. That's what we chalked it up to. But if you're asking about something weird, maybe that's something else that's weird going on. I think that's weird. I think that definitely qualifies.
Well, we have a few leads here.
Listen, Torque, my guy, this is a great conversation. I like the foundation we're building this upon.
You Wildcards have done good work. I think we can do some business together. I think we can work together. Let me go about my business for a couple of days. I'll see about getting you that meeting. No promises, of course, but I may be calling on you for some muscle if you can stand it.
We'd be happy to help with that. Just look at her. I point at Brawley.
He says, and if you guys, come across anything, you find any of these fucking Zents, and you can bring anyone alive back here, you do so.
We appreciate that. We'll keep that.
What if they're dead?
I'll take that too. We got ways to make dead talk.
Should have brought back what's his face's skull.
Well, if there's anything else or nothing else, I think we'll make our way back to the Pearl. But this has been very helpful.
I think that's a good time. We'll be in touch.
As we're kind of getting up, we're not having this conversation in a private area, right? It's pretty open.
It's semi-private.
Okay. Just as we get up to leave, or right before the conversation ends, I want to look to see if any of his people are kind of in the area, or look like they're listening a little too hard. If he had one person in here that was dirty, maybe there's more.
Give me an insight check.
This is my jam.
Don't be shoestring. Come on, shoestring.
He's not here, actually.
13.
He's still back at the other spot.
So why can't I do this math? So that's 22.
None of them seem to give the impression that they're really focusing, really paying attention to your conversation. They seem like they're actively on guard duty. They're paying attention in as much that you're new. They gotta watch your every move to make sure you're not gonna fucking pull a dagger, pull some shit.
Yep.
And they know that you guys have magic too, so they're a little tense given that, because that's something that they're not fully familiar with. But they're just there purely from their guard duty stuff. They're not. No one is suspicious.
Okay.
But you make your way out of the sheath, back into the lower district. And what are you guys doing?
Head home to the Pearl. Have a sweet little power nap.
What time is it?
It's getting late now. You guys have been. You had your dinner and an hour waiting at dinner to attune to this thing. You spent an hour basically in travel and back and forth between Murph's house and this place. It's late into the evening, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock by the time you guys get back to the Pearl.
We should probably go check in on Gord.
I'll do it.
Okay. You make your way to his door, and you knock on his door. You hear like a shuffle inside, and he quickly opens the door like a crack. And says, "Hey,
Hey man, just checking in. Is your stomach okay?
Yeah.
We had a crazy day. Do you want to hear about it?
We'll talk later."
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Best friends?
For life. And closes the door.
I just like nod at myself, very satisfied. I go back downstairs. I'm like, he's fine. Yeah, he's just, he's a little introverted. He's fine.
Well, we can chat. Let's pick a room and chat. Out of game, we're at 11:30. Are we at a spot where like, this is a good spot where next game we can involve Brock again without like having to explain that away?
I want to get to the next morning, and then yes, we'll probably take a break.
So let's just chat through our options. We can, we have 3 different places we can investigate. These Greystone mines, I think is a good option. Asking about this Ingrid Blesser, or looking more into which we might be able to ask Haldor about.
That's what I was thinking. That's a good idea.
Just to see if he knows anything more about that. Or we could go straight and talk to the Willbreakers, but I mean, I don't like the sound of them. They seem sketchy as fuck. But we have 2 very obvious leads here. Maybe tomorrow morning we drop a line to Haldor, see if he has any updates from his son on the inside, and then try to find these fucking mines. Unless anyone else has other ideas. Alright.
Okay. Unless there's anything to occur the rest of the evening, you guys call it a night?
I'd imagine I'm going to speak for Scott and say he might want to reattune to some things. So as long as he has time to do that.
That can be done like over a long rest. Like that doesn't need to be stated like over your long rest, like between actually sleeping and just like settling down for the evening, that's what you consider your long rest. That's why it's like 8 to 10 hours of like actually sleep and doing, just simple stuff like your maintenance of your armor and shit like that, and like taking your armor off and putting it back on. All that kind of stuff. Don't need to necessarily be said out loud. Kev, you got something?
We get our health back.
Everybody's healed to full as you guys make it through an evening's rest.
I'm gonna use my new toy to lock the door better.
Okay. Yeah. No
last time my glass thing went so well.
I will unattune from Scry and attune to my cloak again, if that's cool.
Yes, that's cool. That's totally fine.
Man, I just have to worry about Lav the whole time. She's got like 3 health, like all times. Just scratch, she's hurting.
Allie.
Yeah?
Do you have your Facebook Messenger open?
Oh, Allie's gonna get secrets for sure.
I can.
Yeah, pop that open for a second.
Okay.
It's nothing crazy. As you guys go through your evening's rest, you wake up following morning.
Do you even sleep at this place?
I'm like, bye.
You gonna come back in the morning?
Yeah, I'll see you soon.
Yeah. You guys get through your evening's rest, fully healed, spells back, all that jazz. You wake up the following morning in Alana and Mary's room. You wake up to the fluttering pecking sound at your window as you see a folded piece of parchment feverishly tapping and pecking at your window, attempting to get inside. As you crack the window, Allie, and take hold of this bird as it flutters right towards you, it unfolds in your hands into a piece of parchment, and you receive that message.
Okay. So am I with everyone now?
You're with Leah right now. You and Mary share a room. It's just the 2 of you, but you can obviously just say, I'm going to see everybody else.
Okay. So I will go and I'll let Mary know, and I'll let everyone else know, and I'll show them and read them the note.
Okay.
All right. Lady Brawlwyn, as agreed in our meeting yesterday, I alerted my son Thor to investigate Sister Agatha and this mysterious package you'd mentioned. As of this past evening, there have been some grave developments, and your group's presence is requested at the keep, in question with the assumed murder of Sister Agatha in the Red Keep. I will meet you at the keep gates in 1 hour. Respectfully, Heldor Battleborn.
Holy fuck.
Is that phrase like we murdered her?
You don't know, and we'll find out next time when we all meet with the Wildcards once more. That'll end tonight's session. Great game, everybody. That was good shit.
That was so good. Good
That
job.
was awesome. Yay.
Thanks for tuning in. Join us next time as the Wildcards respond to a royal summons, participate in a murder investigation, and begin to find the signs of some dastardly plot beginning to thicken within the capital. We're aiming to have a new episode up every week, so stay tuned. But until then, keep exploring.